Yamamoto going for the Dodgers. Kevin Gausman going for Toronto.
A rematch of games 2 and 6 of the World Series. A couple guys with splitters that are both devastating.
Both splitters are going down, and we will see if they're both going down. It's going to be a pitcher's duel.
For Kevin, he is off to a great start because he is striking people out. In 2 starts, he's pitched 12 innings. He has not walked a batter and struck out 21.
And ball 4 misses with a fastball away, and that's the first walk that Kevin Gausman has given up this season. So here's Will Smith, and he has popped this one in the air to right field. Nathan Lucas setting up, makes the catch. Ohtani is tagging.
And Ohtani safe with a foot first slide, 2 outs in the inning.
And here's Freddie Freeman. Had a big night last night, 2 for 4 with a double and a home run.
Lifted high in the air, moving over Jesus Sanchez after the leadoff walk to Ohtani. Ground out, fly out to make it a scoreless top of the first.
Yama is looking for the precision that he had in the playoffs so far this year. The off-speed stuff has been very good. It's the fastball and the cutter that has been getting hit.
Is 1-2 to Springer, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him with a slider, and he's already halfway to his strikeout total from his last start. Picks up right where he left off, striking out the first 2 Jays.
He got 0-2 counts on both of them and put them both away.
2 outs. He faces Guerrero Jr. with the bases clear. Yamamoto strikes out the side in the first inning. 3 wins in the World Series here last year. 3 strikeouts in the first inning in his return.
Jesus Sanchez against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Swinging a high drive right field. Backing up, Tucker leaps. It's over his head and 1 hops to the fence. Sanchez rounding first, slides into second, and is in there before the throw of Tucker. Hard liner by Jesus Sanchez. And it looked like the Gold Glover Kyle Tucker didn't quite get the right read on that ball for Sanchez, his first double of the year. So the Blue Jays in danger here of stranding the leadoff double. Still Sanchez on second. Now 2 outs and Nathan Lucas to hit.
4th start of the season, 2 for 15 on the young year.
Here's the payoff. Strike 3 called. Turned him into a statue with the cutter. And he strands the leadoff double with his 4th K.
Special night tonight for Jays fans. Hot dogs for just 77 cents. Fans, enjoy being part of a historic night here at the Rogers Center.
No score, top 3. Both Kevin Gausman and Yoshinobu Yamamoto have been very sharp.
Kim, back-to-back starts in his return to the big leagues. 2 hits and a walk yesterday. Drills this ball to right center field. That's going to split the gap. Into second with a leadoff double.
Now the Dodgers, just like the Blue Jays, in the last half inning get a leadoff double. What can they do with it?
Freeland lays a bunt down first base side to advance Kim, and the throw hits him. Kim's headed for the plate, now throws on the brakes and retreats. Throw to third is late. Bottom of the order again, getting the job done. 7 through 9 in the Dodger lineup, the best in baseball by 150 points of OPS. Dave Roberts is saying before the game, that's when this lineup really gets scary.
Ohtani rifles one to right field, back at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Kim's gonna score. Running from first to third is Freeland. That was a long and loud single for Ohtani, and it drives in the very first run of the ball game. 1-0 Dodgers.
So a couple of hard hit balls here this inning off Gausman to give the Dodgers an early lead. Still nobody out.
Now you're just trying to limit the damage here for Kevin Gausman. Called strike 3. Snuck a fastball by him at 95. Tucker didn't look ready for the heat. There's 1 down.
Well, there's the strikeout when Kevin desperately needed one.
Gausman's not a big ground ball guy, but you've got a right-handed hitter here in Will Smith. Doesn't run particularly well. A well-placed ground ball could get him out of the inning. Ground ball to third. Okamoto to second. Clement to first. Not in time.
So Freeland scores on the play. So an RBI ground out for Will Smith. The Dodgers now lead 2-0.
They just are not able to square the ball up here against Yamamoto.
Here's a matchup worth the price of admission. Yamamoto against Guerrero. Big bounce to the short, charging Kim. Throws on the run in time. Ha-Seong Kim. Smiling and deservedly so. That play and the way he's played his first 2 games back. Sanchez the only guy to reach base for the Blue Jays, and as Yamamoto keeps going like this, you look back at how he reached and it's like, oh no.
Exactly.
That's the only base runner. Kyle Tucker misplayed a ball in right field into a double.
He got him swinging with the curve, and then Sanchez just looks out at Yamamoto and smiles after he had his ticket punched. That is ball 4, and some speed on the bases for the Dodgers to start the 5th inning.
Balk is called on Gausman. Kim will get second.
A balk has been called on Kevin Gausman. He wants to know why. John Schneider wants to know why.
He was bouncing coming set.
I mean, he's always that. Left foot is always going up and down. Oh, boy. And John Schneider just got tossed out of the game by home plate umpire Dan Merzel. At least from the video we just saw, it looked like the normal Kevin Gausman delivery.
John Schneider's livid for a number of reasons. Number one, it's a balk call on Kevin Gausman that he feels his pitcher does the same thing every time. This is another opportunity, though, for John Schneider to give the umpire a sense of his mind, because his team is off to a scuffling start here early in the year, and there's only one way to try to get those boys in the dugout going.
Schneider is bright red.
Blue Jays are still in a bit of a pickle, though, here in the top of the 5th right now. Runner on second, nobody out.
Line drive, base hit right center. Here comes Kim, and the ball's bobbled by Lucas. Kim will score without a throw, 3-0. Alex Freeland drives in, Hess on Kim. And the two guys that competed for the second base job in spring training have combined to bring in the first 3 runs of this game.
And now that balk is really, really important in this ball game.
Still nobody out. Here's Shohei Ohtani taking a strike, throw down to first, and took a Superman dive right there from Vlad Jr. to keep it in the infield. Ohtani is hurt.
It was on the throw. Follow through of the hand. Knocked right on his left elbow. Right about where the funny bone is, where it can just numb you.
What a weird inning it has been so far.
Unfortunately, it's the left elbow, not the right one, because he's scheduled to pitch tomorrow.
And that is going to be all, with a couple of lefties due up next. DeMarlo Hale, the acting manager tonight, is on his way to the mound. And Kevin Gausman will leave after 5 1/3 here tonight. Mason Fluharty is trying to make sure the Dodgers don't extend their lead as he comes in with a couple of men on and 1 out.
And the 1-1 to Max Muncy. Hit on the ground up the middle. Clement gloves. Shovels over to second one. Jimenez to first, not in time.
Just not hit hard enough to turn 2.
So it's up to Kim here with runners at first and third and 2 away. Kim has doubled and walked and scored 2 of the 3 runs and has been on base 5 times in his first 2 games.
There it is. Got him with the sweeper to strike him out, and Mason Fluharty does the job, stranding a couple of runners here in the top of the 6th inning. Yamamoto has faced 1 batter over the minimum through 5.
His 8th pitch to Jimenez. He's hit off the fist, a little looper over the head of Freeman at first, a base hit down in shallow right. And Andres Jimenez is the second Blue Jays base runner. He is a leadoff base runner for the Blue Jays here in the 6th.
See if they can't get something going as they turn this lineup over after Valenzuela.
Runner at second, 1 out for George Springer, 0 for 2. The Blue Jays have not had many opportunities with runners in scoring position tonight. In fact, prior to this at bat, just 3.
Swing and a line drive right center field. It's got tail on it, and it's down for a base hit, bouncing into the fence. Coming around third, Jimenez jogs home. Springer into second. His RBI double gets the Blue Jays on the board. It's 3-1 LA.
That spoils the shutout bid for Yamamoto and the Dodgers.
First walk of the game issued by Yamamoto. And tension right here. Tying run aboard. Vlad Guerrero Jr. coming up. Big bouncer up along third. Muncy waits on it. Steps on the bag to get Springer.
So the baton pass to Jesus Sanchez. First and second, 2 down, 3-1 Dodgers.
Sanchez swings and hits it on the ground to second base. Freeland to Freeman, and that ends the inning. So the Blue Jays get 1, but only 1.
Well, it was Dalton rushing last night with the get-right game, and it feels like Freeland's having it tonight.
Mason Fluharty comes in and gets 4 outs across 20 pitches. He has done his job tonight.
Freeland started this inning with a double. He's still at second.
And now Louis Varland comes in to face Will Smith. In the air to right. It is playable. Lucas is there, and the Dodgers are retired. Fluharty and Varland combined to strand that leadoff double.
Okamoto around first into second with a leadoff stand-up double. He is indeed human, and the Blue Jays are starting to get to him a little bit here in the later stages of this game.
And the tying run is at the plate here in Ernie Clement. Clement gets a bunt down. It's a good one, and everybody is safe.
The Blue Jays have the tying run on, and there's nobody out on a bunt hit from Ernie Clement.
And that is going to do it for Yoshi. First two batters in the seventh inning get hits against him. And these Blue Jays fans and the Blue Jays players are saying anybody but that guy.
Left-hander Alex Vesia, who has not given up an earned run on the young season, comes in to face the pinch hitter in Davis Schneider. The 3-2 outside, ball four to load the bases. Scored.
Good as a strikeout.
You talk about a big moment in Val, and now Joe stay to face
Tucker on. The Jays had
nothing Dodgers.
nobody out. Can they get something out of this?
popped up. Shadow right. Freeland out. Tucker on. The Jays had the bases loaded. Nobody out and could not score. Nightmares returning for Toronto.
Here's Alex Freeland in an RBI single back in the fifth inning. They made it 3-0 Dodgers.
Chops it to first. Vlad's got it. Race to the bag. Throw behind Hoffman. And now the throw's into right field. Oh, my goodness. Freeland will stop at second.
Scored a single for Freeland in E2 on Valenzuela, the backstop.
And that shot right there of Vlad is the Blue Jays in 2026. They put Ohtani on with first base open and face off with Kyle Tucker instead. Big insurance sitting out there. Base hit to right field for Tucker. Here comes Freeland. Throw is on the way. It is not in time. Dodgers take advantage of the two-out sloppiness from the Blue Jays. Kyle Tucker drives in Alex Freeland, and it's 4-1.
Ernie Clement aboard, and the door a crack open right now for the Blue Jays here. Down by 3, they have their first runner on here in the ninth.
So here's Davis Schneider. Walked in his one plate appearance. That came in the 7th. That loaded the bases with nobody out.
It's inside. Called the ball. Will Smith taps the helmet.
There it is. You're rarely going to get that call from the umpire because of the glove reaching like that. Not hitting your spot.
Has one remaining challenge.
But the computers don't care where you were aiming. Catches the inside corner, and the Jays are down to their last out.
The batter is Andres Jimenez, 1 for 3, singled and scored back in the 6th. And that's going to get through for a base hit. Clement is going to be held. You don't want to take any risks when you're not the tying run. So Clement at third. Tyler Heineman will come up as the tying run.
2 on, 2 out of the 9th. 0-2 pitch. Got him, and that's the ball game.
He was 55%. And 2 very, very different starts. He looked like a Cy Young Award winner in that first start, and he looked really, really average in that second start. If you can get somewhere in between, I think John Schneider's going to be happy with that. With that being said, Dylan Cease is very good when he throws strike one, when he locates his fastball, and when he shows that he can locate the breaking balls as well. Let's see what he can do against the Dodgers today.
Dylan Cease going up against a very tough Dodgers team. And before we get to their lineup, we will take a look now at the standings watch presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. The Dodgers lead the National League West. No surprise there. They are 9-2, best record in baseball. On the Blue Jays side, the American League East, it's the Yankees at 8-2. Baltimore 5-6, Tampa Bay 5-6 entering play today. Blue Jays 4-7, and the Red Sox are 3-8. Let's take a look at that Dodger lineup now, Chris, and it's managed by the 11-year manager, Dave Roberts. Who do they got today?
Well, leading off for the Dodgers and pitching is Shohei Ohtani. Batting second is Kyle Tucker. He's in right field. Behind the dish, batting third is Will Smith. And the cleanup spot is Freddie Freeman. He'll be at first base. At third base, hitting fifth is Max Muncy. Hitting sixth is former J, Teoscar Hernandez. He's in left field. In center field, batting seventh is Andy Pages. Batting eighth is Alex Freeland. He'll be at second base. And at shortstop, batting ninth is Miguel Rojas. On the mound is Shohei Ohtani. Leading off for the Toronto Blue Jays is George Springer. He's DHing. In center field, batting second is Dalton Varsho. Batting third is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He'll be at first base. Hitting fourth is Jesus Sanchez. He's in left field. At third base, batting fifth, is Kazuma Okamoto. He'll be at third base. At second base, batting sixth, is Ernie Clement. Hitting seventh is Nathan Lucas. He'll be in right field. At shortstop, batting eighth, is Andres Jimenez. And batting ninth, behind the dish, is Tyler Heineman. On the mound for the Blue Jays is righty Dylan Cease.
Talked a lot about Cease already, the 30-year-old, 6'2", long-haired, thick mustache right-hander from Milton, Georgia. 2.79 ERA in his 9 2/3 innings pitched. Of the 3 runs he gave up in his last start to the White Sox, only 2 of them were earned. There was an unearned run, although it was due to a Cease error that he made himself on a missed catch. He's a guy who has seen a lot of the Los Angeles Dodgers his last 2 years as a San Diego Padre, and his last 2 starts against the Dodgers last season, they really got to him. Put up 11 runs over 8 1/3 innings. Their lineup, like every lineup, they're going to be tougher when you fall behind, but it's even multiplied more when you're talking about the Hall of Fame quality hitters that they have. You fall behind Shohei Ohtani 2-0, he's more likely to get you for a home run than your average major leaguer.
Yeah, and I think another important part of this equation for Dylan Cease is establishing the inside part of the plate. Whether he's comfortable doing that or not has yet to be seen. But as a starting pitcher, when you're facing a lineup like this, like you mentioned, a bunch of Hall of Famers in the lineup, you have to establish the inside part of the plate.
He will look to do so against Shohei Ohtani to start the day. Blue Jays in their baby blues with a dark blue navy cap. Dodgers in the grays, and the pitch from Cease is down and in, ball 1 to begin the day. Time of the first pitch, 3:08 Eastern. Roof is closed again in downtown Toronto. Outside temperatures 5 degrees. 1-0 pitch. Near the back foot. I believe that was a yell from Ohtani, who was jumping out of the way of that fastball at 99 miles an hour. 2 balls, no strikes.
He just made Shohei Ohtani feel uncomfortable. That's the first hurdle that you need to jump over.
Cease shakes his sign. 2-0 count. He kicks and offers home. And the pitch is high and outside, ball 3. Calling the balls and strikes today, crew chief Dan Bellino, Mark Ripperger at first, Shane Lebensparger at second, Dan Merzel at third. Infield shift toward first base. Cease trying to get in the zone. Is 3-0. Called strike. Point to the right from Dan Bellino. It's 3-1.
A little bit of frustration on the face of Dylan Cease. Obviously, you don't want to fall behind 3-0 to Shohei Ohtani. A good pitch right there to get back in it.
Right on left matchup. Cease kicks and offers. And the pitch is just high, ball 4. A 5-pitch walk to Ohtani to begin the start. For Dylan Cease, slider and 4-seamer dominate the mix, but he's using more of his full arsenal this year. Curveball, change, sinker, and sweeper as well. Fans still getting into their seats, but enough here to shower boos on Kyle Tucker, the left-handed hitting right fielder. Still a heavy shift toward first, and the pitch from the stretch is outside, ball 1.
You can boo while standing up, can't you?
You can. I know more meant they might be in the concourse, but I get what you're saying. Dylan Cease still trying to get a feel for the zone right now. 6 pitches, 5 of them balls. Righties 1-0. High with a fastball. Everything up top right now. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, especially with Shohei Ohtani at first base. It looks like he's rushing with that lower half just a little bit. That last fastball was arm side high. It always tells me that the arm is dragging a little bit.
Shohei takes his lead, held on by Vlad Guerrero Jr. And the 2-0. Popped up, back behind home plate, headed in our direction. That will drop just off to our right into the 200 level seats, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the first inning. It's brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Cease sets, looking over his left shoulder at first. And with no outs, the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Got Tucker to chase after an elevated 98-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-2.
And that's establishing the inside part of the plate right there. They're trying to go up and in to Kyle Tucker. That's the zone that you want to hit if you want him to either swing and miss or induce weak contact.
Cease with a 2-2. Fouled back straight into the backstop. Tried to flip in a backdoor curve against Kyle Tucker. And it was a little bit elevated, although it would have clipped the outer third of the zone. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, probably not where you want that pitch, like you mentioned, a little bit elevated. If you're going to throw that pitch again, you better get it down.
Tucker coming off a 1-for-5 night with a single, an RBI, and 3 strikeouts. 2-2. Down and in, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cease looking out into the distance over right center field. Likely peeking at that pitch clock back there near the WestJet flight deck before he steps on the rubber. Runner on first, nobody out, top of the first inning, no score. And the 3-2 pitch to Tucker. Fouled off the glove of Heineman to the backstop. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Heineman liked that pitch, too, pointing out at Dylan Cease. I like it, too. An elevated 4-seam fastball right at the top of the strike zone. He almost got a swing and a miss there.
Payoff pitch. Up and in, ball 4. That's back-to-back walks to begin the start. Not how you want to begin it if you're Dylan Cease or the Blue Jays.
Yeah, 13 pitches in the ball game now, 5 strikes to 8 balls. We talked about ratios, strike-to-ball ratios before the broadcast. Obviously, this is not how you want to start a ball game. Tyler Heineman's going to have a slow walk out to Dylan Cease, slow him down a little bit, especially with this part of the lineup coming up. Will Smith and then Freddie Freeman right behind him.
Yeah, this is tough lineup to pitch to with the bases empty. A lot tougher once there are guys on base, and Will Smith knows that you're trying to be in the zone against him. Brief mound meeting as Heineman and Guerrero went to check on the right-hander, and now Heineman walks back to the plate. Smith about to come up, first and second, nobody out, no score in the top of the first inning. Set from the right-hander, Cece looks to second, and now the right-on-right pitch to catcher Will Smith. Called strike with a breaking ball. He lands the sweeper on the outside edge to get ahead 0-1.
And now he's shown that he can throw that pitch for a strike, so Will Smith has to respect that. Now you can come inside with that good hard fastball if you want to.
He's got a 4-seamer and a 2-seamer to work with. Long-haired righty looks to second here, flopping on his shoulders, the 0-1. Hit foul, went with a fastball at 98 miles an hour, and Smith shot it into the seats right side, 0-2.
I don't think they were trying to come inside there. I think they were trying to go away with that fastball, but it was still pretty well located, especially at 98 miles an hour.
Pickoff throw to second base and a dive back in by Shohei Ohtani. Clement was sneaking in behind the second baseman. He will cover the bag with the right-handed hitting Smith up. Two on, nobody out, top of the first, and Cease steps off again, this time asking for Heineman to go through the signals. That'll be the second disengagement from the rubber in this plate appearance, which means Cease essentially can't step off again. 0-2. High and outside, little quarter check swing by Smith, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I would imagine that Shohei's not going anywhere out there, especially with nobody out.
One-two. Poked away, foul right side and deep into the seats, about 5 rows from the concourse. Another sweeper, that one a ball and a half off the plate, and Will Smith stuck the bat out to get to it. 31-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky. 32nd overall pick in 2016 out of Louisville, Will Smith. The 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes, missed with a fastball at 97. And all of a sudden, if you're Dylan Cease, you've thrown 18 pitches, no outs yet in this inning. Ohtani on second, Tucker on first, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets him on his slider, and there's the first out of the day for Dylan Cease.
Will Smith pretty frustrated walking back to that dugout. It was a little bit of a hanging slider, probably about thigh high. Will Smith just swings over the top of it. A gigantic first out here in this first inning.
Cease can take a breath of sorts. I mean, still in a lot of trouble here. First and second, 1 out, but has his first out of the inning. Freddie Freeman up, and right on left, C steals home. Pitch inside. Freeman moves his hands up out of the way. Ball 1. Freddie Freeman 1 for 4 yesterday. Singled, flied out twice, and grounded out once. Batting .261 with an .850 OPS. 1-0 pitch. Down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Freeman had talked about coming into this year wanting to get back to being a guy who routinely would hit 300. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
Freeman immediately dropped the shoulders right there. He was really disappointed that he actually swung at that pitch. It was a fastball well above the strike zone.
Yeah, gave Cease a bit of a break there. Instead, it would have been 3-0. Now the 2-1 pitch from the right-hander. Hit on a line, caught by Clement at second. Tucker way off the base in the throw back to the bag to double off Kyle Tucker and end the inning. A base running gaff from the new Dodger right fielder, and the Blue Jays benefit from it after back-to-back walks to start the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left for the Dodgers. Middle of the first, no score. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From backyard diamonds to hometown ballparks, community is where the game begins. When it's time to build, repair, or bring people together, count on your locally owned Timber Mart. Proud to support the places we call home. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
For the last 30 years, Capital One has been there for over 4 million Canadians. 30 years of giving credit and helping people reach the milestones that matter. Because we know when you're given the chance, you can do something great. Whether it's that lease on a new car, a place with more space, or just the feeling that comes with making your daughter's birthday the best one yet. With Capital One, this is just the start. Learn more at CapitalOne.ca.
It's Charles Barkley with Wayfair. It's outdoor season, and my patio setup, that'll be ready to play. That's where Wayfair wins. Patio seating, umbrellas, and grills, all delivered fast and easy. Shop Wayfair.ca now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
There's nothing worse than waiting in long lines around the ballpark. That's why Bet365 has 5-run early payout. When the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there, win or lose. No waiting required. Now you can go back for another hot dog. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Jose Barrios with a trio of strikeouts to end a scoreless 6.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Don't sit on the bench when it's time to build. With flexible financing options through the Timber Mart Project Card, you can get started today and keep your project moving. Timber Mart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer. Derek Brandeo and Tom Young, our technical directors. Appreciate you tuning in today. No score, Blue Jays and Dodgers. We start at the bottom of the first with Shohei Ohtani on the mound. The 31-year-old 6'4" right-hander from Japan will make his second start of the season. Last year, he pitched 14 times in the regular season, albeit abbreviated starts. It only equaled 47 total innings in his 14 starts last year. He pitched to a 2.87 ERA. This year, he got off on the right foot with a nice outing against the Guardians on the 31st. Did not allow a run in 6 innings. Ohtani, who was left on second base in the top of the first inning, gets the baseball back from third baseman Max Muncy and looks in at George Springer to start this bottom of the first. Springer, Varsho, Guerrero, 2 up for the Blue Jays this inning. Right-hander steps back, kicks and delivers, and the first pitch is low to Springer. Ball 1.
I think Will Smith is challenging the first pitch of the ball game.
Yes.
The catcher is challenged.
And he's not right. I already looked at the replay. That is an interesting move by Will Smith. On the first pitch Ohtani throws, they're going to burn it on a ball more than an inch below the zone.
And it really wasn't that close either.
Yeah, that's a confusing one to me. So the Dodgers down to one challenge. Maybe it's the Blue Jays' day today. 1-0 pitch to Springer. Called strike, 1-1. For Shohei Ohtani, four-seamer, curveball, splitter, sweeper, sinker, and slider. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Springer was looking for it all on that 97-mile-an-hour sinker. 1-2 as he stumbles on the swing and miss.
Shohei averaged about 96.8 in his first start. Last year, the fastball averaged 98.4, so it's down about 1.5 miles, although he's just getting loose.
He's pitching deeper into games, too, now. Right-handers 1-2. Outside 2-2. If you don't remember, or maybe never knew, Shohei Ohtani had surgery on a UCL tear in his right elbow in September of 2023 when he was still a Los Angeles Angel. 2-2 is flipped foul over the netting right side into the seats. Still 2-2. He missed all of 2024 as a pitcher, still won National League MVP that year, but only hit, and then returned to the mound last year in June, gradually built innings before returning to being a full starter in the postseason. His sixth pitch to George Springer, and it's hit on the ground through the left side, a base hit. Springer with a leadoff knock for the Blue Jays.
I mean, that's just a good piece of hitting, a pretty good at-bat from George Springer. He fought off a tough sweeper from Ohtani, and then he gets that four-seamer kind of on the outer third, and he barrels it up and rips it through the left side. A big first knock for the Jays.
Been a while since the Blue Jays have struck first in a game. We'll see if they can do that here in the first inning. Dalton Varsho is up, and Ohtani from the stretch. Down and in. Varsho moves his back ankle out of the way, lifting his white cleats off the ground. 1-0. There was 98 on the four-seamer from Ohtani. Varsho 171 hitter so far this year. 1-0 pitch. High and outside. So for Ohtani, he returned to being a regular starter in the postseason. He made 3 6-inning starts in the playoffs and then went 2 2/3 on short rest in Game 7 as an opener. 2-0 pitch. Grounded foul. Varsho went after a cut fastball that time near the bottom of the zone, and it's 2-1.
That's a great 2-0 pitch. If you can command that cutter and you fall behind 2-0, why not throw that thing in the strike zone? It looks like the fastball, and it just misses the barrel.
The 2-1. Fouled right back. That sweeper might have been a bit of a mistake from Shohei Ohtani. On first look, it looked like it landed more near the belt, the top of the zone. But Varsho just missed it, sending it back into the screen. 2-2.
Looks like George Springer's pretty antsy over there at first base. Wouldn't be surprised if he takes off at some point.
Big shuffle from Springer. Step off by Ohtani, and he bounces the throw to first. Freeman with a backhanded dig to keep it from being an error, although it was a bang-bang play. Springer dove back in safe.
I guess the Dodgers are watching the same game I'm watching.
Seriously. Not sure if Ohtani saw that or if it came from Will Smith, the catcher. 2-2. Hit on the ground to second base, backhanded Freeland. Throws over to Rojas for one, tossed to first, not in time. Varsho will beat it out. And for now, at least a fielder's choice. Freeland flipped to Rojas in time, and Dave Roberts is waiting right now to see if the Dodgers will want to challenge. They will not. So it's Varsho safe at first base. Springer retired. 1 on, 1 out.
And that's why I like putting the runner in motion with 2 strikes and nobody out, because it takes away that double play. If Springer is in motion there, Dalton Varsho hits the ball on the ground, they go right to first base and get that out, and then you have a runner in scoring position with 1 out.
I'll advocate for the devil in a second, but first, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up in the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
I know exactly what you're saying. Depends on who's up.
Yeah, it's just, is that, do you know Dalton Varsho is going to put the ball in?
No,
he's not a very high contact hitter.
Yeah, and obviously you have to factor all those things in, who's standing on deck, all those all those important factors.
0-1. Guerrero takes right out of the hand and takes it down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. I would just be a bit wary about a strike him out, throw him out situation. Now, obviously, Springer can take a bag straight up. So it's not like he's thrown out for sure, even if Varsho strikes out. Varsho on first, and the 1-1 to Guerrero. Hit on the ground, left side, past the dive of the third baseman, Max Muncy, into left field. Guerrero with a base hit on the ground after Springer did it earlier. That hit moves Varsho up to second. Vladdy on first and 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless game.
It's a pretty good swing. A fastball over the heart of the plate. A sinking fastball that was sinking down. And Vlad just rips that thing past Max Muncy at third base. I like the at-bats. The at-bats yesterday were just a little bit better than they have been. The at-bats today, early on, are even better than they were yesterday.
Blue Jays with 2 hits already in the game. They had 5 total in yesterday's loss. Pitch to Jesus Sanchez now is high and outside, ball 1. Ohtani also without the firmest grasp of the strike zone so far. Not like Cease, who walked a pair in the first, but Ohtani's thrown 9 strikes, 6 balls in 15 pitches. 1-0. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. 99 that time, but not well located.
Have to be smart here if you're Jesus Sanchez. If you get something that you don't think you can drive, do not swing the bat.
286 hitter so far as a Blue Jay, 8 for 28. It's driven in 4. The pitch. Down and away, ball 3, and it popped out of the glove of Will Smith. Count will go to 3-0. I would imagine a take sign coming here for Jesus Sanchez.
I would think that as well. Maybe a little fake bunt action. You know I love that.
Chase
you know I love that.
I think it was. Time will be called for Shohei Ohtani to tie his shoe. I think that's supposed to count as a disengagement, but it's Shohei Ohtani on the mound. First and second, 1 out, bottom of the first inning. And the 3-0 is swung on and popped high behind third base. Muncy into foul territory, and he'll make the catch. Was a cutter right over the heart of the plate. He just missed it, and they're 2 down.
Again, whether it's 2-0, 3-0, the cutter is such an important pitch. It looks more like the fastball really than any other pitch. And Shohei Ohtani knows that. Shohei knows that Jesus Sanchez is an aggressive hitter up there. Will Smith puts down touches the cutter button on that pitch comm and throws a perfect pitch.
So the line goes down to Cosmo Okamoto. First and second, 2 down the pitch. Called to strike, dropped in a sweeper to get ahead 0-1, did Ohtani. Second day in a row that Okamoto will face a WBC teammate of his. He had 2 hits yesterday, 1 off Yamamoto. 0-1. Fouled off the end of the bat, 0-2. Pardon me, Okamoto went 1 for 4 yesterday, had the double off Yamamoto in the 7th. 0-2. Downstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Okamoto 11 for 42, a 262 batter with a 769 OPS so far. He's driven in 3 runs. First and second in the 1-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3. The Blue Jays put 2 on with 1 out and do not score. Ohtani getting a pop-up and a strikeout to keep it 0-0 as we roll on to the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Let's flip a coin. Heads, you grow your business. Tails, you earn on your cash. Most banks make you pick a side. Float says, be all in. With Float, eligible Canadian businesses get up to $3 million in flexible, interest-free credit to keep building, all while their idle cash earns up to 4% interest in Float. Spend on credit and earn on balances. Heads and tails. Being all in means giving your business both. Learn how Float is all in on Canada at floatfinancial.com.
Coming this spring, the all-weather drive main event presented by Subaru. Don't miss all the action as Subaru continues to be the undisputed champ of getting out there and doing all the things. Watch as it takes on spring weather like it's a no contest. From camping to hiking, nothing will get in its way. It's the event of the season, the all-weather drive event with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive, traction control, and class-leading safety, Uncommon comes standard.
Ontario Corps is calling you. Join a group of volunteers committed to protecting your community. Proud to step up and stand together in times of crisis, facing down severe storms, floods, and doing what's right to keep your neighbors safe. When the next emergency comes, are you ready to make a difference for Ontario? Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Verdugo for his 7th strikeout.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the second inning, brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. First pitch of the inning bounces in to Max Muncy, 1-0. Dylan Cease back on the hill for the Blue Jays. No score in this game. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in. Finale of this series against the Dodgers. Cease with a 1-0. And it is hit very high in the air out to right field. Medium depth. Lucas moving over toward the gap. Varsho points at Lucas. And Nathan Lucas makes a two-handed catch. 1 down.
I have to mention that before the broadcast, I mentioned that the velocity might be down a little bit. Shohei averaged 96.8 in the first start. That last pitch to Okamoto was 100. So I think he's found the fastball again.
He'll be all right. He'll be all right. 1 down, and here is Teoscar Hernandez, former Blue Jay. Kick from Dylan Cease in the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Cease and Hernandez have seen each other a fair bit. Wind in the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Their times in the American League and then flipping to the National League overlapped. Not to mention they were in the same division each of the last 2 years. Hernandez, lifetime, 3 for 18 against Cease. 8 Ks, 1-1. Called strike. Buckles him with a sinker on the inner third. And it's 1-2.
Love that pitch. And now he's established the inside part of the play. We talked about that in the first inning. Now Teoscar has to respect that inside part of the plate. You can go away with something. You can even double up inside. That's also an option.
Hernandez asks for time, taps the plate. Standing in the righty batter's box, he hit so many big hits for the Blue Jays in. The 1-2. Foul tip, strike 3. Went outside with a fastball at 98. 2 quick outs here in the second, just what the doctor ordered for Cease.
Yeah, 2 really, really good pitches for Dylan Cease in that at-bat. First, the sinker in that Teoscar took for strike 2, and then that 4-seam fastball at 98 on the outside part that Teoscar just swings right underneath.
Seems to have found a little bit more command now in his second inning after throwing over 20 pitches in his first. His pitch to Andy Pages, check swing, pitch down and away, appeal to first, and Mark Ripperger says Pages went around 0-1. Cuban outfielder taps home plate, still leading baseball with 19 hits and a .452 average. 0-1. Check swing, pitch down, point down to first. He went again, says Mark Ripperger. Who's your stand-in home plate umpire right now. He's made calls on both of the first 2 pitches. It's 0-2.
One of the best pitches in baseball is an 0-1 fastball inside, because you get hitters thinking, okay, it's 0-1, they're probably going soft away, and then you just surprise them with a fastball in. That's what they were trying to do right there.
0-2 count, 2 outs, bases empty. The pitch. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt. He went around. Strike 3 swinging. Tag applied by Heineman. A 1-2-3 top of the second, authored by Dylan Cease. On to the bottom half we go with Ernie Clement leading off when we come back. No score in the game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Barger needed a place to stay right before Game 1 of the World Series, and so I offered him my pull-out couch, and yeah.
The first ever pitch hit grand slam in World Series history.
Be at the ballpark on Saturday, April 11th to get your very own Addison Barger Couch t-shirt free for the first 15,000 fans. Thoughts, Addison?
This is grand slam worthy.
For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Where will you be for this giveaway?
Why switch to a Leva Sleep adjustable bed? Because it's a better bed. Better than your flat bed. Better than your my back hurts bed. Better than your squeaky springs bed. Definitely better than the guest room. A Leva Sleep adjustable bed is better because the zero gravity setting gives you the leverage and stamina to keep things interesting. Better your love life when you better your bed with a Leva Sleep adjustable bed. Visit one of our 6 Leva Sleep showrooms or levasleep.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada.
ZipRecruiter. Mami, tú solo escribes. Hola, soy Andrés Jiménez y estás escuchando el béisbol de los Toronto Blue Jays en la cadena de Radio Sportnet. Mami, tú solo escribes.
Ernie Clement digs in for the Blue Jays, batting against Shohei Ohtani in the bottom of the second. The kick and the pitch. Up and in. Clement spins out of the way of 96, 1-0. As he regroups, we can welcome you to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Every winning build starts with a solid lineup, quality lumber, trusted materials, and expert advice. From the first pitch to the final out, your local Timbermart helps you build it right. Timbermart, Canada's building center. Line from Ohtani, the 1-0. Called strike 1-1. Clement Lucas Jimenez this inning. Ernie with a hit and a walk yesterday. 1-1. Chop toward the left side. Fielding it is Muncy. He'll spin and throw over to first for the out.
How about that sequence from Ohtani? A fastball at about the chin of Ernie Clement, and he just dots the next 2 pitches. A fastball away, dotted, and then a sweeper down and away, dotted. That's how you do it, I guess.
Ohtani wanting his first ever Cy Young Award this year. His first pitch to Lucas rolls all the way to the backstop. 1-0. Complicating factor will be first topping Paul Skeens, but then, and his teammate Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but then pitching enough innings. 1-0. Called strike. The talent is clearly there for Ohtani. If he was ever converted to a full-time pitcher, which he never would be, he might end up being one of the best pitchers in baseball. 1-1. Fouled straight off the mask of Smith. You could hear the metal there as the baseball hit it. 1-2. But for Ohtani, he's not often pitching every 5 days. Even this start was supposed to come 2 days ago, and they bumped it. And it's clear that the Dodgers and the Angels, too, were prioritizing his bat over his arm. He is a guy who won MVP as a DH. 1-2. Check swing, pitch down and away, appeal to third, no swing, says Dan Merzel. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I also think it's easier to do that when you have 5 All-Stars in your starting rotation.
Sure.
Potential All-Stars.
A lot of Cy Youngs in that rotation. 2-2. Hit deep down the left field line. That's going to fade foul into the seats. Actually, I guess it's just 2 Cy Youngs. Just Blake Snell. Tyler Glasnow is a caliber pitcher to win that award.
Has he ever been an All-Star, Tyler Glasnow?
Must have been. I'll confirm that.
Well, I just don't know if he stayed healthy enough to make an All-Star team.
1-time All-Star, but he's got the talent more of like a 5-time All-Star. He just keeps getting hurt. 2-2 count, 1 out, base is empty. Ohtani winds and his pitch. Outside ball 3. Nathan Lucas, of course, a handful again. Shohei Ohtani, a 5-time All-Star.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising.
Into the wind, Ohtani, the payoff pitch. Hit on the ground sharply at second base, and it's booted by Freeland. It ramps up his left arm and shoots into shallow right field. That should be an error on the Yankees second baseman, or rather the Dodgers second baseman, and Lucas is safe at first.
Well, the Dodgers don't generally make a ton of errors. They usually take care of the baseball, and if you're the Blue Jays, you have to take advantage of that error from Freeland. I mean, that's a ball that he should make all day long, and it just runs up the glove and into right field.
Andres Jimenez to hit with Ohtani in the stretch. The pitch, off goes Nathan Lucas, and the first pitch chopped at, hit softly on the ground to second, charging Freeland, looks at the runner and then throws to first for the out. Lucas gets back to second base after a wide turn. 2 down. This is not to hammer Freeland, but that was a bit of a show look. He looked. Lucas was way off second. He probably could have turned and thrown him out if he wanted to, but it more looked like he looked just to kind of say he looked, and then he tossed it over to first.
I'm wondering if Nathan Lucas actually thought about going to third, or if that was just a fake, but he was, like you said, he was way off the bag.
I mean, it was far enough off that the throw went to first, and then Freeman had a close play to get Lucas, who's in scoring position now, 2 down. Tyler Heineman up in the pitch. Hit on the ground, foul, 0-1. Heineman 5 for 14 to begin his season. No extra base hits, but that's a .357 average. And a hit right now could break open the scoring in this tied game at 0. First Heineman, the switch hitter batting left, asks for time and steps out of the box. Red elbow protector, white arm sleeve for Tyler Heineman on his right arm in the 0-1. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on second base is Lucas. Rojas shaded behind him. 1-1. Fouled off of Heineman, off of Will Smith, and through the legs to the home plate umpire Dan Bellino. 1-2.
Someone yelled, but I don't know who did. It might have been Will Smith.
I think it was Heineman. I have to take a second look at that, but Heineman's the one reaching down now, pressing his left foot and tapping his toes into the turf. Will Smith has remained in the crouch. I think it was Tyler Heineman that got the brunt of that foul off. Yeah, I mean, his foot took the sting out of the ball in a big way. Top of his left foot. It's back in there in a 1-2 count. Runner on second, 2 down. The pitch. Hit back foul. Catches up to 99.5 at the top of the zone to keep himself alive. Blue Jays had 2 hits in the first inning and did not score. They have a runner on second here in the second inning with 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. Fouled back again. This time a high slider on the outer third.
Yeah, that might be one of the few mistakes that Shohei's going to make in this start. That's a slider that backed up on the outer third. Tyler Heineman just fouling it off, trying to stay alive in this at bat. Obviously, when you have a guy throwing 100 miles an hour, it's not so easy to say, hey, why didn't you hit that hanging slider?
Sixth pitch, Ohtani to Heineman. Swing and a miss. He got him. Struck him out on a splitter as he pulled the string to get the Blue Jay catcher out in front. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left in scoring position for the Blue Jays. On to the third we go. No score in this game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Brown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Sometimes I feel a bit helpless with the state of the world, and it feels really hard to make an impact on people's lives. I donate because it makes me feel better to know that I can actually do something today to help people. Donating blood helps me feel like I'm making a difference in the world.
Canadian Blood Services. Experience what you get when you give. Book an appointment at blood.ca.
Sunshine day.
Why is Kintec different?
Because a strong step goes beyond a single solution. It takes experts who treat footwear, orthotics, and bracing as a connected system, and who know how to make them work together for you. Delivering the perfect fit with support exactly where you need it to relieve pain, elevate comfort, and give you the freedom to move your best. There are shoe stores, there are clinics, then there's Kintec, footwear and orthotics together in step.
Kintec footwear and orthotics.
There's nothing worse than waiting in long lines around the ballpark. That's why Bet365 has 5-run early payout. When the team you're riding goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there, win or lose. No waiting required. Now you can go back for another hot dog. Bet365. Download the app and see what early payouts all about. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
And now everyone to their feet. The 0-2. He got him.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by your local family-owned Ground Rush Control Centers in Woodstock and Bathurst, New Brunswick. Protect your vehicle with Canada's #1 rust protection. Find your local Crown Rust Control family at crown.com. Welcome back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. Appreciate you tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Scoreless game, Blue Jays and Dodgers, and Alex Freeland leads it off for LA. Kick in the pitch home. Freeland shows bunt, pulls it back in, takes a strike. 97 on the outer third from Cease. 0-1. Freeland, Miguel Rojas, Shohei Ohtani this inning. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Want to say this because soon the forefront will be Rojas and obviously what he did last year against the Dodgers. But Miguel Rojas unfortunately lost his father yesterday very suddenly, and that's part of why he was pulled out of the lineup in yesterday's game. So hope for him and the rest of the Rojas family, and you know, our thoughts with them. The 0-2, high and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I also should acknowledge that the majority, if not almost all of the fans in this building will not know that. So take that into the context when they likely boo him coming up here in a second. 1-2 to Freeland. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cease puts him down with a changeup. And there's 1 out in the inning. Here comes Rojas. Actually, a bit of a tepid response, so maybe they do know more than I gave credit. 1 out, bases empty, top of the third, no score, and the pitch. Called strike, 0-1.
You do know that this broadcast is played throughout the stadium, right? So maybe they just heard you talking about it and realized that.
I would hope that our reach is that vast. 0-1. Lifted out to right center field. Varsho in a jog into the gap makes the catch. 2 quick outs for Dylan Cease, who's really put some of the command issues early in this start behind him, it seems. He walked the first 2 guys he faced. He's retired 7 in a row since.
Yeah, that at bat to Alex Freeland was really, really impressive. He finished him off with a good, hard changeup down and away. That's a pitch that's going to be really important to him if he wants to be in contention for that Cy Young Award.
The pitch to Shohei Ohtani. High and outside, ball 1. Two out, spaces empty, no score, top of the third. Cease shaking a couple of signs here. And now into the wind. He twists back and deals a 1-0. Called strike. Throws Ohtani with a sweeper that landed near the bottom, 1-1.
Now you look at the strike to ball ratio. 40 pitches thrown, 24 strikes, 16 balls. He's thrown a lot of strikes over the last inning and a half or so.
1-1. Just a hair low. Heineman held it there for a moment to present it to Dan Bellino. Missed with a changeup, 2-1. Another shake from Cease. Another shake. He and Heineman going through a lot of back and forth here to try and pitch to Ohtani. 2-1. Called strike. Slider over the heart of the plate. Clearly, Ohtani looking for something else. It's 2-2.
It's really tough to be right as a hitter when you see a starting pitcher or pitcher in general shake 3 or 4 times because you really don't know what they're shaking to or what they're shaking from.
2-2 count with 2 outs and the bases empty. No score. Cease's pitch. Outside, full count.
Every once in a while, you'll see a catcher shake his head, and that tells the pitcher to shake his head. And sometimes you'll see them do it 3 or 4 times in a row just to mess with the hitter.
He's shaking again. Now his 3-2 offering to Ohtani. And he got him. Huge rip on a big chase from the 4-time MVP. Cease gets him to climb the ladder and swing at 99 above the zone. 5 Ks and 3 scoreless for Dylan Cease. On to the bottom of the third we go. Top of the order to hit for the Blue Jays. No score in this game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rush Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ontario is helping you keep more of what's yours. We cut gas and fuel taxes, saving households an average of $435. We scrapped the license plate sticker fee, saving you up to $720. We introduced One Fare, saving commuters on average $1,600 each and every year. And since 2018, we've never raised taxes, keeping costs down for families, workers, and businesses across the province. Learn more at ontario.ca/keeping costs down. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Active Green and Ross.
The Great Outdoors is calling with BF Goodrich and Active Green and Ross. Purchase a set of 4 select BF Goodrich tires before May 29th and get up to $100 back. See store for details. From tires to tune-ups, they are your dealership alternative. There's no better place to buy your BF Goodrich tires and service your vehicle than
Active Green and Ross.
A proud Canadian company.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ziprecruiter.ca/Canada.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Roddy runs the ball to left field. The Blue Jays have gone back to back to back.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Shohei Ohtani wrapping up his warm-up pitches as we go to the home half of the third. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in today. If I'm not mistaken, Dan Bellino might have assessed Shohei Ohtani a pitch clock violation there for being late to his warm-ups. We'll see what happens as George Springer walks up to lead off this inning. Springer, Varsho, Guerrero to hit for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have had 3 base runners through the first 2 innings, including 2 in scoring position, but they have not scored a run yet. I believe we will start with a fresh count. 0-0 as Ohtani deals in to George Springer, and the pitch is inside, ball 1. So I guess it's more like Game 7 of the World Series where Ohtani gets however much time he wants to warm up. 1-0 pitch. High and inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, in Game 7, he took a long time coming from the dugout out to the mound. I remember that. That was frustrating.
Those were even longer breaks. 2-0 pitch. Foul tip accidentally by Springer. He went to check his swing, and the ball tipped off the bat, and it's 2-1.
Looked like he was stepping in the bucket there. And then Shohei Ohtani flipped in a sweeper right down the middle.
2-1 pitch. Down and away, 3 balls, 1 strike. Shohei yanks 99.
He's been pretty erratic with that fastball today. He hasn't been pinpoint.
Springer with a hit back in the first inning. Awaits a 3-1 from Ohtani. And he'll hit it on the ground over the mound up the middle. Rojas on it. Gloves in, throws over to first. In time to retire Springer. 99 on the outside corner to get him. 1 down.
Yeah, it's tough when it's perfectly placed like that. Even when it's a 3-1 count, you're looking for the heater there. That thing's placed down and away like it just was. It's really tough to make good contact. George Springer hits a weak ground ball to Rojas at shortstop.
Dalton Varsho hitting now. 1 out, base is empty, and the pitch from Ohtani. Low ball 1. This inning, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 100% Canadian-owned and operated since 1992. Every Tuesday night, wings are just half price. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. Varsho bends the knee and takes a strike. 1-1. On the south side of Chicago, Rate Field is proving to be a gauntlet. The White Sox are leading the Orioles again. The 1-1 to Varsho, down and in 2-1. I can't accept if the White Sox hold on here, they will have swept the Blue Jays and then beaten the Orioles in back-to-back series, I believe. Actually, pardon me, the Orioles have won each of the last 2 days, but White Sox up 3-2 over the Orioles right now as Varsho takes the 2-1 outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
4-6. I think if you're the White Sox, you take that.
You take that.
Sure. If you're anybody, you take that.
They're doing it against Kyle Bradish, too. Maybe the top starter for the Orioles. 3-1 pitch to Varsho. Swing and a miss. Hard fastball inside at 98, and it's a full count.
Shohei's thrown 2 really good 3-1 heaters in this inning so far. First down and away to George Springer, and then down and in right there to Dalton Varsho.
Long look in by the righty, and his payoff pitch fouled in and out of the glove of Smith, so Dalton Varsho still alive. Well, you know what has become a gauntlet? Playing the Colorado Rockies, Chris. They're up 3-1 on the Houston Astros, and I'm not mistaken on this one because they won yesterday over the Houston Astros as well. The Rockies, with a win today, would get to 500 through 12 games. 3-2. Outside ball 4, a little bit high maybe as well, and Varsho goes down to first base with 1 out.
I can't recall if when the Blue Jays were playing them or not, whether it was the Athletics or whether it was the Rockies. And I said, this is a good squad.
Was it
the Rockies?
It was the Rockies.
So I was right.
Let's give it 115 more games and see what happens. By the way, Will Smith is having an equipment issue. I think something is undone on his mitt, potentially, or a stitching issue. So we can go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. So 3-2 White Sox, although the Orioles have the bases loaded in the top of the 6th. Just happened to mention 3-1 Rockies because it's good when the Rockies are winning games. In the 8th inning in Fenway Park, or at Fenway Park, the Red Sox are looking to take a series from the Brewers. They badly need to get going, and they're up 5-0 right now on the Brewers. That came in the bottom of the 8th inning. Really good day for Sonny Gray. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up, Will Smith back in the crouch. Varsho leading off first, no score, bottom of the 3rd. The pitch to Guerrero. Outside, and it skips out of the glove of Smith. He had no idea, and Varsho will take off for second. Maybe too much padding in that glove that they just got fixed now. Smith is looking at the glove like it's the equipment's fault. That's going to be a pass ball.
Did he get a different glove, or is that the same glove with?
I thought it was the same glove.
Padding.
But it could be the same brand, so hard to know.
Yeah.
But he just kind of got it in the palm, and it skipped out of the palm all the way to the right. 1-0. Guerrero reaches out and pokes the ball high in the air near the shortstop Rojas. He'll make the grab. And there are 2 down as Guerrero goes after a sweeper on the edge there. He's still a runner in scoring position.
He just seems to be really in between right now. And I know that Guerrero has been a slow starter over the last couple of years, but that's just a butt out 2-strike swing, but there's not 2 strikes on you.
1-0 count that he went after that pitch. Varsho still on second. The pitch to Jesus Sanchez, and he's got to leap back out of the way. Sanchez with a smile looks out at Ohtani. 1-0. Jesus Sanchez unlikely to do what Jorge Soler did last night, charging the mound. 1-0 pitch. Inside, he jumps out of the way again. You could hear him that time. Again, Ohtani's not doing it on purpose. But Sanchez is looking out again this time. That's 100 at his lead ankle. You don't want to get hit by an Ohtani pitch. Now the smile's been wiped off his face, which is tough to do.
Yeah, he's smiling about 99% of the time, except for the odd time that somebody throws at his back ankle.
Gave another look to Ohtani as he crossed across home plate again. Now in the lefty box. 2-0 count. Varsho on second. Ohtani with a long look in the pitch. Called strike. 99 at the knees. 2-1. For 1 today, popped out to third base in foul territory in the first inning. 2-1 pitch now to Jesus Sanchez. Sprayed down the left field line. Fair ball rolling all the way to the corner. Varsho around third. He'll score. Into second base goes Jesus Sanchez with an RBI double to open the scoring. 1-0 Blue Jays in the third.
That's got to feel good for that dugout. Scoring first here against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jesus Sanchez not trying to do too much. He gets the fastball he was looking for, and he just rips it past Max Muncy, who was off the line. There was a big hole down that left field line, and he rips that thing down into the corner. A huge first run for the Blue Jays. That's for sure releasing some pressure down there.
It's the last time, or the first time, the Blue Jays have scored first since their game last Wednesday, a 2-1 loss to the Rockies. First pitch to Kazuma Okamoto, high and outside, ball 1. Blue Jays had been scored on first in every game since that game on April 1st. Sanchez on second in the 1-0 to Kazuma Okamoto. Outside, sprawling. Smith backhands it to keep it from the backstop. 2 balls and 1 strike.
How important is that pass ball now on Will Smith? They did give it a pass ball, right? I'm assuming.
I didn't even check because it was that blatant.
I'm assuming that was a pass ball, yeah. Moving Dalton Varsho into scoring position.
2-0 pitch. Broken bat pop-up in between the mound and first. Freeman calls off Ohtani to make the catch and end the inning. The Blue Jays are on the board. RBI double from Jesus Sanchez makes it 1-0 Toronto, a third of the way through this game. 4th inning coming up. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Blue Jays are back, and Canada is excited to cheer on their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences at the ballpark or stepping up to the plate with those spring projects at home, Access Storage can help you make room for it all. From tools and bikes to boxes and seasonal gear, Access Storage gives you the extra space you need all season long. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit accessstorage.ca for details. Access Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event. In this corner, the reigning champ of driving through the rain, the undisputed king of all-wheel driving in the mud, the titan of traction so you can enjoy the outdoors in any weather, Subaru! And the opponent with absolutely no chance, spring weather. This no contest is brought to you by your local Subaru dealer. It's the all-weather drive event with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive traction control and class-leading safety, uncommon comes standard.
Ontario Corps is calling you. Join a group of volunteers committed to protecting your community. Proud to step up and stand together in times of crisis, facing down severe storms, floods, and doing what's right to keep your neighbors safe. When the next emergency comes, are you ready to make a difference for Ontario? Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Andres Jimenez makes the catch, and the Blue Jays come back to win it.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the 4th inning, brought to you by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app for the latest odds. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. 1-0 Blue Jays. Dylan Cease's first pitch to Kyle Tucker. It's taken low. Check swing by Tucker to avoid going around. Ball 1. Cease has retired 9 Dodgers in a row. 1-0. Swing and a foul tip. Went to the changeup there, running away from the lefty Cease. It's a hard, or the lefty Tucker, I should say. It's a hard changeup for Cease. Just one of the newer pitches for him as a Blue Jay. 1-1. Is hit on a line out to left field, moving forward. Sanchez, he stops and makes the catch, 1 out. Talk to Dylan Cease. I think you're going to like this, Chris. Talk to Dylan Cease before his second start, rather than before this start, about the changeup. And he had a changeup before. They slightly tweaked the grip, but he said before he threw it with no arm speed. It was just kind of a lay it over pitch, and the difference now is he's really ripping that changeup as hard as he can out of his hand and trusting the grip to create the movement there. And still gets about 10 miles an hour separation from the fastball. His pitch to Will Smith is low ball 1 as he misses with a sinker at 97.
We've talked about this 1,000 times, but the most important thing when throwing a changeup is just making it look like a fastball. So if the arm speed is the same, you'll get swings and misses, you'll get weak contact. But if guys recognize the pitch,
1-0, called a strike, 1-1,
and they know that you're throwing a changeup, it essentially just becomes a BP fastball.
Right.
And they're sitting on it waiting for it. More often than not, you'll get hard contact with it, especially against this team.
1-1. Smith takes a strike, a knuckle curveball that lands on the outside edge. In a right-on-right matchup, the count goes to 1-2. Yeah, these guys, the Dodgers, lead Major League Baseball coming into today in batting average, slugging percentage, on-base plus slugging, home runs, and runs per game, of course. The 1-2. Fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes. It was a big shocker to everyone around here, us included, when they came in and scored 14 runs in the opener of the series. However, for them, it was the third time they reached double digits in a 4-game span when they did that. 1-2. Smith taps it softly toward third, charging Okamoto, glove slow, slings a throw to first, and it bounces away, hitting off Smith as it goes down the line. Smith turns, he'll dig for second, and he's in there with what will go as a hit and an error. And I think a play that they'll say in hindsight to Okamoto, maybe not worth the throw there, because I don't think they get him, even if Guerrero digs out that bouncing throw.
Yeah, I don't mind the throw there. I think if you're Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you have to come off the bag.
Sure.
And really try to block that baseball, especially because as the first baseman, you can tell where the runner is. You come off the base, you block that base, or you block the baseball, and you keep that guy at first base.
It goes as a hit and an error. Freddie Freeman up. 1-0 Blue Jays. 1 out top of the 4th. The pitch. Hit off the mound, up the middle, into center field. Smith gets the wave, and he will come to home plate. Varsho's throw is cut off by Guerrero. And just like that, the Dodgers have tied it at 1 on a Freddie Freeman RBI hit.
The Blue Jays have made a few errant throws in this series, allowing the Dodgers to take the extra base and score that big run from second base. And I can't remember exactly when those plays happened, but if I recall, those runs would not have scored if they had stayed at first base and they didn't move into scoring position because of the errant throw. So got to take care of the baseball.
1 out, and the first pitch to Max Muncy misses down and in, ball 1. Dodgers, after going hitless through the first 3 innings, have back-to-back hits here in the 4th, and with the help of the error have tied the game. Cease with a 1-0. Muncy checks his swing, takes his strike, 1-1. Freeman with a word for former Blue Jay Chris Woodward over at first base. Woodward is the pitching coach, or rather the first base coach for the Dodgers. 1-1 pitch from Cease is bounced to the plate, backhanded dig by Heineman. 2 balls, 1 strike. Former Blue Jay Chris Woodward coaching first, Dino Ebel coaching third base for LA. Kick in the 2-1. Fouled back by Muncy, 2-2.
Ebel's been around a long time. I remember him when he was with the Angels. Mike Scioscia was that manager there, and he was his right-hand man.
2006 to 2018 with the Angels. That's a couple different regimes, too. Step off throw to first and a dive back in by Freddie Freeman. And everyone credits Ohtani going to the Dodgers and them being a lot more dominant. No one ever says, well, look at how they've done since 2019 when Dino Ebel got there. He's got 3 titles. Ohtani's only got 2.
That's not a reach at all, Ben.
Kick in the 2-2 from Dylan Cease. And Muncy powers one deep down the right field line. It's hooking, though, and it's going to go foul. Just under Roy Halladay's name is where it bangs off the boxes and falls down into the seats. Muncy shaking his head because if he's a 1/10 of a second later, that's a big home run. Just a little early on the slider.
Ooh, boy. Squared that thing up.
Another 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Rips it by Muncy at 99 miles an hour. 2 down.
That's a great pitch. Up and away, a pitch that Max Muncy probably can't handle, especially at almost 100 miles an hour. Hits the target. And that's just a long strike. So as a pitcher, you see that home run foul and you just turn the page and you potentially make a good pitch on the next pitch, and that's what Dylan Cease did.
2 outs, Teoscar Hernandez to bat in the pitch. Down and away, ball 1. Freeman still on first base. And they're now 2 outs in a 1-1 game. We talked about Dino Ebel, Chris Woodward, a Blue Jay from 1999 through 2004, and then a Blue Jay again briefly in 2011. 1-0. Popped up by Teoscar Hernandez in between third base and home plate. Okamoto in to make the grab on the infield turf and end the inning. Dodgers get a run on a pair of hits, 1 error as well, and they leave 1 on. Middle of the 4th, 1-1 score between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Junior J's Sundays, where kids can live their big league dreams. Where will you be on Junior J's Sundays? It's family fun throughout the ballpark with games and activities for kids of all ages.
I know I can. Be what I want to be.
Be here for the next Junior J's Sunday. Presented by the Ontario Honda Dealers Association.
If I work hard at it, I'll be where I want to be.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada.
ZipRecruiter.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event. In this corner, the reigning champ of driving through the rain, the undisputed king of all-wheel driving in the mud, the titan of traction so you can enjoy the outdoors in any weather, Subaru! And the opponent with absolutely no chance, spring weather. This no contest is brought to you by your local Subaru dealer. It's the all-weather drive event with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive traction control and class-leading safety, uncommon comes standard.
Hey, this is Kevin Gosman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ernie Clement leading off for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays and Dodgers have each scored in their last offensive half inning. It's 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Pitch down from Shohei Ohtani. Called strike 0-1. Clement 0 for 1 today. Ground out to third base in the second inning. 0-1 pitch. Reaches out and rolls over one foul. Caught by John Schneider on a couple of bounces in the Blue Jays' third base dugout. Schneider was going to throw it into the seats. He's inspecting the ball for some reason. It's 0-2. Pitch to Clement. Lifted high in the air, back of first. Freeman backpedaling onto the shallow right field turf. Gives way to the second baseman, Freeland, who crosses behind him to make the catch, 1 out.
Seems like Shohei Ohtani's going through some mechanics right now out on that mound. Must not have liked that last pitch he threw to Ernie Clement. He was kind of out in front with that hand.
He's yanked a lot of fastballs, kind of the opposite of when Cease struggles for command and misses arm side high. Pitch to Nathan Lucas. Loops a curveball in there. Strike one. One out, base is empty. Lucas up with Jimenez on deck. 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Strong builds start in the dugout with the right game plan and the right materials. From framing lumber to finishing supplies, your local Timber Mart helps you build with confidence from the ground up. That's a home run build at Timber Mart, Canada's building center. 1-1 fouled off the hand of Will Smith. It bounces onto the dirt. Smith shaking out his throwing hand. It's 1-2. Lucas reached on an error from Alex Freeland in the second. Battled, saw a bunch of pitches before hitting a grounder right at the second baseman that rolled up his arm and went into right field.
Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire, giving Will Smith a ton of time. I don't think he needed that much time.
Well, Chris, they are the Dodgers. I've never taken a foul off the hand. I'm sure that hurts like I would not even imagine. Will Smith in the crouch behind home plate. 1 out, base is empty, and the 1-2 to Lucas. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not really in Dodger country, but Lucas growing up in California. 2-2. Fouled off the mask of Smith. Now, if you're Dan Bellino, you probably want to give him a little time again, and he will.
I would arguably give him more time now than I just did. And it's not looking like he's going to. Maybe he might.
But for Lucas, by the way, from in and around the Sacramento area, went to high school in Antelope, California, and then went to Sacramento State for college. Well, Lucas grew up a Red Sox fan rather than a Dodger fan.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the California teams, that is certainly not Dodger territory.
No, that's Giant territory, if anything. Although maybe now it's A's territory. Yeah. Who knows? 2-2. Fouled back, still 2-2. I think it's still more Giant territory than A's territory, even though the A's are playing in Sacramento. I've yet to ask Lucas about his Vlade Divac takes, though. I got to see what kind of a Kings fan he is. 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Peja Stojakovic. He was a Kings guy, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I think his kid was playing for UConn or something the other day.
Not UConn. 3-2. Lifted foul to the left, still 3-2. Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken.
We have somebody looking it up.
All right. Getting deep in the weeds now. Children of Sacramento Kings. 1 out and another 3-2 to Lucas. And he serves the ball high in the air. Foul first base side. Freeman with a lot of time to get under it. He'll make the catch. Stepping on that dirt-colored turf that acts as a side warning track. And there are 2 outs.
A lot like Dylan Cease. Shohei Ohtani is...
Oh, it was Illinois.
It was Illinois?
It was Illinois.
Yeah. Who did I say? UConn? Yeah.
Not Iowa State, though. We're just getting... I'm getting hammered with texts from our coworkers right now, by the way. That is bad on me. 2 outs. Andres Jimenez up in the pitch. Called a strike 0-1. 1-1 score, Blue Jays and Dodgers. Andres Jimenez 0-for-1. He grounded out to second base in the second inning. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. 0-2.
What was the text message? Why are you talking about Peja Stojakovic? Or you should
No, that would have been better. It was more Illinois. It was Illinois. Oh, 0-2. Bounce to home plate. Sliding block by Will Smith. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Andres Jimenez looking to get it going again a little bit. He had 6 hits through the first 2 games of the season, and he has 5 hits now in his last 9 and change. 1-2. Bouncer hits softly right side. Ohtani ranges, though, and gloves it. Going to first base himself to end the inning. You don't want to hit it close to maybe the most athletic pitcher in all of baseball. 1-2-3 inning for Shohei Ohtani sends us to the fifth in a 1-1 tie. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Recently, our company's softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please go to connectsontario.ca. T&Cs apply.
A northbound moment by Side Launch Brewing. Everything up here just makes sense.
Yeah, even the loons make sense. Hear that?
Sounds like pass me a northbound lager.
Northbound lager.
Loons, they really get me.
Sure they do.
You can escape to the north with Side Launch Northbound Lager. Crisp and refreshing, proudly crafted in Ontario. Found at LCBO and beer stores.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. With an almighty, all-powerful A19 chip. And Ceramic Shield 2, built to survive this. And this. And a 48-megapixel fusion camera with 2 times optical quality zoom. And double the starting storage of iPhone 16e. And long-lasting battery life for hours of watching the studio.
That's the dream!
And it comes with Apple Intelligence. And you can charge it with USB-C or with MagSafe accessories. And a whole lot more. All for a lot less. Get the new iPhone 17e at Freedom today. Battery life varies by use. Pricing compared to iPhone 17.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Blue Jays up 3-2 on a wacky play to give Toronto the lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Andy Paez kicking away some dirt from the right side, and we're about to get going in the top of the fifth. Thanks for tuning in to this Wednesday matinee, 1-1 Blue Jays and Dodgers. Dylan Cease, the long-haired mustached righty, staring in at Paez. Right-hander twists and deals. First pitch grounded foul, hit the toes of Paez's left foot and then rolled down the third baseline. A little bit of a jump from Paez to try to relieve the pain. Now he's rolling his left ankle around. 0-1. As he settles in, we can let you know that fifth inning action is brought to you by Miller Lite. You can celebrate a strikeout, hit, or catch with great taste at 90 calories per 355 milliliter can serving. Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada, must be drinking age. Celebrate responsibly. Paez with a similar foul ball on the 0-1, and now it's no balls and 2 strikes.
He's filling up that strike zone. That's what you love to see from Dylan Cease. I know the Pete Walker down there in that dugout's pretty impressed right now.
0-2 pitch from Cease. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last pitch for Cease was his 64th, and even with that miss, he's put himself in a much better spot strike throwing wise than he was early. He's thrown about 63% of his pitches for strikes, 62.5 to be exact. And if you weren't with us earlier, he walked each of the first 2 batters, so that's a big improvement. 1-2 to Paez. Bounce to the plate and skips all the way off the backstop, damaging the billboards. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, like we talked about before, 60 is somewhat average. 65 is pretty good. 67 is elite-ish.
That's what he did in his first start. Kevin Gausman often hovers around in the high 60s to 70. 2-2. Bounce to the plate. Slider, that was a ball out of the hand. 3 balls and 2 strikes. After Paez hits, Alex Freeland will come up, and we'll take a look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Payoff pitch. Lifted foul to the right, out of play. Andy Paez stepped across the plate, now walks back to the right-handed side of it. He struck out swinging on a curveball in the second. He was all out of sorts against Cease that first time up. Another 3-2, ripped out and missed, strike 3. Cease puts him away with a 98-mile-an-hour challenge fastball, 1 down.
Paez is probably thinking, well, if he threw a slider 3-2, how would he throw a fastball here? And then Dylan Cease just blows that fastball by him.
ran it up and in on the right-handed hitter as well. 1 out. Cease with 7 Ks now and 4 1/3. And his first pitch to Freeland is deemed a ball. Heineman thought about a challenge on that knuckle curve, decided not to. 1-0. Get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard in a sec. First, Cease shakes twice, shakes a third time, and now the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Ugly hack there from Freeland on his slider low. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Red Sox have wrapped up a second win in a row over the Brewers. One point, the Red Sox were 2-8, and the Brewers were 8-2, but they beat them twice in a row. 1-1 pitch is high from Cease, 2-1. Sunny great today. 6 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Great day for the veteran starter. 2-1 pitch is lined toward left field. Sanchez on the run, dives, and it goes in and out of his glove. It'll be a base hit for Freeland. Sanchez scrambles to it to make sure Freeland won't advance further. Decent effort there from Jesus Sanchez, and he does keep it in front of him, so there's no harm in the dive here. It just goes as a base hit like it would have been anyway.
Yeah, probably would have thought about it a little bit differently had that ball gotten by Jesus Sanchez, and Freeland's at second base, potentially third base right now, but because he kept that ball in front of him and Freeland stays at first base, I don't mind the aggressiveness. He also almost caught the baseball.
Yeah, went in and out of his glove. Rojas up, 1 out, runner on first, and the pitch is called to strike 0-1. Just to wrap up on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Orioles also jumped in front of the White Sox. A pass ball from Reese McGuire and then a Dylan Beavers sac fly. It's 4-3 Baltimore, that game in the 7th. Cease is 0-1 to Miguel Rojas. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 score. Out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Freeland on first, taking his lead with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th, rather. Cease from the stretch, steals home to Rojas. And it's hit well, but hit way foul to the right. 1-2.
Double play would be nice right here. Maybe a little fastball down and away. Get him to roll over one.
The 1-2 pitch. Lifted down the right field line. It's slicing foul into the seats. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
I think they were trying to come in with the fastball there. Tyler Heineman was set up and in, but that fastball leaked over the heart of the plate.
Cease set, peeks over his left shoulder at first. Now he reaches back in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 98-mile-an-hour four-seamer for his 8th K of the game and his 2nd this inning. 2 down.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Tyler Heineman and Dylan Cease not messing around, throwing back-to-back fastballs to Miguel Rojas. Getting a big strikeout there, especially with Ohtani coming to the plate.
Runner on first, 2 outs, top of the 5th, 1-1 game. Ohtani up, Cease offers home. First pitch pounded foul to the left deep into the seats, out of play, 0-1. A walk and a strikeout for Shohei Ohtani so far in this game, who now is 10 for 27 career off Cease, 2 doubles, 3 homers, and 5 walks. 0-1. Called strike. Not sure that's where they wanted the changeup, near the top of the zone on the inside edge, but perfect pitch freezes Ohtani. 0-2.
If you're sitting changeup, that ball is on a tee.
Yeah. But it almost worked as like a front hip sinker, just 10 miles an hour slower than you would have intended it.
That tells you that the arm speed of that pitch was good.
0-2 count. Runner on first and 2 down, top of the 5th. Cease's 2-strike offering. Bounced, and Ohtani jumping around like it hit him. They will point down to first. Blue Jays are going to hold up a second because that pitch bounced in there, was picked, and then Ohtani screamed and started bouncing around. Might have just been that the pain didn't get him right away. We'll see what the Blue Jays are thinking here. They're not going to challenge, so that pitch got Shohei Ohtani in the foot.
And like we've talked about in the past, especially nowadays with with challenges and reviews. If the ball didn't hit you, hitters are more than likely not going to fake it because they know that the opposing team will challenge, and then they'll have to come all the way back to the plate.
And then they'll probably answer questions about it for about 2 weeks also. Ohtani on first now as that pitch skimmed off the toes on his right foot. Up to second goes Alex Freeland. Kyle Tucker to the plate, 2 down. 1-1 score. Dylan Cease checks second and deals home. And the pitch ripped at and missed 0-1. Kyle Tucker 0 for 1. Line out to left and a walk in this game. Base hit to the outfield could give the Dodgers the lead. Right on left, the 0-1 pitch. Hit high in the air, foul back behind the plate, third base side. Goes into the third row of seats in the 200 level, and it's 0-2.
That's a tough sequence. A changeup away at 85, and then a fastball in on the hands at 97.
Ahead of Kyle Tucker, no balls, 2 strikes. Dylan Cease kicks and fires. Pitches high at 98. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 taps of the plate with the bat by Tucker. Spins it around twice and now waves it above his left shoulder. The 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground over the mound up the middle. Jimenez gloves, goes to the second base bag and stomps on it to end the inning. No runs, a hit, 2 left on base for the Dodgers. 1-1 score, middle of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The best hitters don't chase every pitch. They wait for their moment. Know when to take a walk. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Concerned about your gambling? Visit connectsontario.ca.
Let's flip a coin. Heads, you grow your business. Tails, you earn on your cash. Most banks make you pick a side. Float says, be all in. With Float, eligible Canadian businesses get up to $3 million in flexible, interest-free credit to keep building. All while their idle cash earns up to 4% interest in Float. Spend on credit and earn on balances. Heads and tails. Being all in means giving your business both. Learn how Float is all in on Canada at floatfinancial.com.
It pays to rethink your air with your local Lennox dealer, Solid Care Home Improvements. Solid Care's special offers will afford you quality air in your home and allow your budget to breathe too. It's a win-win. For a limited time, they're offering up to $1,800 in rebates or no payments for 6 months on a new Lennox system. Contact them today to learn more about these special limited time offers. Call 416-890-0885 or visit solidcarehomeimprovements.ca to learn more. Stay cool, stay warm, stay solid with Solid Care.
It's Charles Barkley with Wayfair. It's outdoor season, and my patio setup better be ready to play. That's where Wayfair wins. Patio seating, umbrellas, and grills, all delivered fast and easy. Shop wayfair.ca now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Way back, and Jimenez has done it again.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. You don't win games without fundamentals, and you don't build without quality materials. Your local Timbermart has all the tools, supplies, and expertise you need to step up to the plate and score big on every project. Timbermart, Canada's building center. Technical directors today are Derek Brandeo and Tom Young. Our host and producer is Show Ali, and my partner is the former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. You might be saying, hey, Ben, usually we come out of commercial break and the game is going a little bit sooner than this. Well, in an inning or two, we'll return to the rules once Shohei Ohtani is out of the game. But for now, we give baseball's most talented player extra time to do what he has to do because we already gave him a rule to only accommodate him as well. 1-1 is the score between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. And Ohtani just authored his first 1-2-3 inning back in the 4th. Now the Blue Jays will look to get traffic against him again in the 5th inning with Heineman, Springer, and Varsho due up. Heineman 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging in this game. The pitch. Outside, ball one. If you weren't with us yesterday, it was announced Alejandro Kirk got a screw put in his left thumb. The expectation is he'll be out about 6 weeks. 1-0. Called strike. So that goes into about the middle of May, meaning for Heineman and Valenzuela, there's a lot more playing time potentially coming up. A right-on-left pitch here, the 1-1. And Heineman lofts the ball high in the air, but staying in on the infield. Second baseman Freeland steps onto the dirt after he was on the outfield turf, and he'll make a two-handed catch for the first out of the inning.
Heineman was pretty frustrated after popping that ball up. That was a heater right down the middle, and he just missed it. It's a pitch that he probably wants back. Don't get many mistakes from Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani shakes his first sign, now offers home to George Springer. And the first pitch is inside, ball one. Springer today 1 for 2, and lifetime in the regular season 10 for 19 against Shohei Ohtani with 2 home runs. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a bouncer left side, backhanded deep by Rojas. The shortstop stops and throws over to first in time for the out. It's a really nice play by Miguel Rojas, 2 down.
Yeah, nice play. Even better throw. He was deep in the hole, planted that right foot, and made an absolutely perfect throw to Freddie Freeman's chest at first base. Big smile on his face over there at shortstop.
At this rate, this half inning is going to last shorter than Shohei's warm-up for it. 2 outs and the base is empty, and his pitch to Dalton Varsho, but Varsho had asked for time. Ohtani put his palms to the sky, but now it seems like he has seen that Varsho asked for time. Wind now, and here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Hooked on the ground toward first, fair ball fielded by Freeman. Underhand flip to Ohtani, and that does it for the inning. On to the 6th we go. The Blue Jays and Dodgers knotted up at 1 apiece. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Not tomorrow, not someday. Start your home improvement project today. It's game on with your local Timber Mart. Build that deck, raise that fence, transform your space. Get the quality materials you need and the expert support you trust. Plus, buy now, pay later with your Timber Mart project card. Financing provided by Fairstone Financial Inc. Conditions apply. So you can start now and pay over time. Visit timbermart.ca for details. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Yeah, we doing it big, yeah, we doing it yeah, we doing it big, yeah, we doing it, whoa. I make a play when I step on the plate. Hit a home run, you gon' see it in space. We getting cheese like a pizza. We from the north, that's pride, that's ether. We getting bigger and tall. We step in your house and deliver it far. We big as the sea and we big as the falls. We big as the moment when we win it all.
Get a double XL huge 3-topping pizza for $19.99. Only at Pizza Pizza.
Coming this spring, the all-weather drive main event presented by Subaru. Don't miss all the action as Subaru continues to be the undisputed champ of getting out there and doing all the things. Watch as it takes on spring weather like it's a no contest. From camping to hiking, nothing will get in its way. It's the event of the season, the all-weather drive event, with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive, traction control, and class-leading safety, Uncommon comes standard.
Vladdy under it, makes the catch, and the Blue Jays win the series.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
1-1 score, top of the 6th inning. Dylan Cease back on the hill for the Blue Jays. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. His pitch to Will Smith. Down and away, ball 1. This 6th inning is brought to you by Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not celebrate a win with the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada? Must be drinking age. Celebrate responsibly. 1-0. Bounce to the plate. Backhanded dig by Heineman. 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Jay pen empty. However, Dylan Cease is approaching 90 pitches. He offers home his 87th pitch of the game to Will Smith in a moment. A step to the left, he kicks, and the 2-0. Pitch deemed high or maybe inside. A miss there with a knuckle curve, and it's 3 balls, no strikes. 3-0 pitch. Called strike. Laid a fastball in there at 96, and for Dylan Cease, 96 has taken a little something off of it.
Yeah, he threw 93 pitches in his last start against the White Sox. I would imagine he gets up to 100.
3-1. Up and in, ball 4. And that'll be a leadoff walk to Will Smith. It's the first walk for Dylan Cease since the first inning. But you don't like giving away leadoff walks at any time.
Yeah, obviously, especially with Freddie Freeman coming up next. But that's the first erratic at-bat that Cease has had really since the first inning.
And on cue, Louis Varland up for the Blue Jays and throwing. Now the pitch from the stretch to Freeman. He's hit on a line, down in right field, a base hit. Charging at Nathan Lucas. He will toss it back in to keep Will Smith at second base, but that almost seems to happen when you give away the leadoff walk. All of a sudden it helps build an inning. And now off that Freeman single, it's first and second with nobody out.
Yeah, Dylan Cease probably trying to be quick to the plate there. Pete Walker's coming out to the mound to have a quick word with him. And that makes the bottom half quick and the arm drag a little bit. That curveball there was elevated. That tells me that the arm was late. Freddie Freeman really was all over it. Got in on him just a little bit. Didn't hit it as hard as he could have, but it was elevated. He got the barrel to it, and the Dodgers are in business now, first and second with nobody out in this inning.
Cease to the back of the hill for a moment. He will try for the second time in this game to escape a first and second nobody out jam. Did the same thing, or did it in the first inning. He had first and second no outs and got out of it unscathed. He'll try to do that again here in the 6th. It's the powerful and dangerous Max Muncy up to the plate. Left-handed hitter looks out through his rec specs to Dylan Cease, and the right on left pitch. Bounce to the plate. Heineman gets up out of his crouch to block it and keeps Will Smith at second. That's a heroic block there from Tyler Heineman, and it's still first and second, no outs.
He just choked off that changeup there. I think that's the right pitch in that situation. You want to get a ground ball, potentially a double play on Max Muncy, but choked it off, landed about 3 or 4 feet in front of home plate. How about Tyler Heineman? Look what I found.
Cease looks to second at Smith, and the 1-0. Bounce to the plate again. This one closer to home, but still a big block by Heineman. 2 balls, no strikes.
He's earning his paycheck just in this inning.
Blue Jays really trying to keep that runner on second here. There's nobody out in the inning. Dodgers get him to third with 1 out. They have a clear path to take the lead. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-1. 98-mile-an-hour heater. Cease goes back to the hard stuff to get back in the count. Next pitch will be his 94th, surpassing his total from his last start. Here's the 2-1. Hit back foul over our heads into the 500 level seats above us. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another good fastball. It's almost like he's challenging him with those 4-seam fastballs. Here it is.
Muncy 0 for 2 today. Cease got him to strike out on a fastball last time up. The 2-2. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. He went back to the change. Not a bad pitch, but Muncy laid off as it dove into the dirt beyond home plate.
Yeah, I think it might have been a ball out of the hands, an easier take for Max Muncy, but I like the changeup. I like the pitch selection. Just got to be a little bit better with the location.
Got to go after Muncy here, though. Full count, no outs. Freeman on first, Smith on second. In a 1-1 game, the payoff pitch. High, ball 4, and that walk loads the bases. And now it's all sorts of trouble for the Blue Jays.
It's potentially the last pitch for Dylan Cease in this outing. John Schneider's moving around down there.
Schneider will emerge from the Blue Jay dugout and immediately point down to left field for Louis Varland. Dylan Cease really strong through 5, but as he leaves, the bases are loaded with nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 is the score between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Top of the 6th inning, a handoff of the baseball. Cease gives it away to John Schneider, and that will do it for Dylan Cease's day. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Louis Varland looking to pull off a magic act with the bases loaded and no outs. Before we get to him, let's go back to baseball control. Here's Show Ali.
Thanks, guys. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. We'll start with a number of games going on across Major League Baseball. Games going on right now include the Rangers leading the Mariners in Texas 3-0. This game going in the top of the 9th inning. Texas trying to close things out. Top of the 8th inning in Chicago, the Orioles 2 on and 2 out. Runners on first and second. Orioles leading the White Sox 4-3. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Phillies and Giants showing zeros. Runner on third, while the Astros still trailing the Rockies big 7-1 Rockies right now in Colorado. Some finals for us to get to as well. The Red Sox blanking the Brewers 5-0. A great outing for Sonny Gray. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 2 walks, no runs. You got the win. Trevor Story leading the way with a pair of RBI, including an RBI single in the 7th. Red Sox now 4-8 on the season. We also had a 10-2 Guardians win over the Royals in Cleveland. Joey Cantillo going 5 2/3, allowing 2 runs, 1 of them earned. He got the win. Cole Reagans on the other side only lasted 2/3 of an inning after being hit by a comebacker in the hand. Apparently he did avoid anything serious, but of course he did not finish that game. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center with the call. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much. Show into the game for the Blue Jays is hard-throwing right-hander Louis Varland, the hardest thrower that the Blue Jays have on their roster. He'll pitch for a second day in a row. Came in yesterday, faced 4 batters, and got all 4 of them. Tough spot for Varland, though. Infield in, bases loaded, tie score 1-1 in the top of the 6th. And Teoscar Hernandez at the plate. A fly ball could give the Dodgers their first lead of the game. Varland kicks and deals home to Hernandez, and the first pitch is in there, strike 1. That's a good start if you're the flame-throwing right-hander from Minnesota.
Yeah, now that you get that first strike, you're going for the strikeout here. That's priority number 1.
Hernandez 0 for 2, a strikeout and a pop-up today. Either of those would work right now. 0-1. Hit high in the air out to right center field. Tagging at third base, Smith. Varsho charges. He makes the grab, and he will toss into third base, holding Freeman on second. Sac fly for Hernandez. Will Smith in to score, and it's 2-1 Dodgers in the top of the 6th.
I mean, it's almost an impossible situation for Louis Varland. You're facing one of the best, if not the best, offense in all of baseball. The bases are loaded. There's nobody out. The infield's in.
You don't hate that result.
No, that's a fine result. It's not obviously the result that you really hope for, but that's a fine result. Getting an out, trading an out for a run.
If you can keep it at 2-1, you think that's a positive outing for Varland, but he's still got 2 big outs to get. His pitch to Andy Pages, high ball 1. Pages 0 for 2, a pair of Ks. Five outings this year for Varland across 5 2/3. No earned runs. 1-0. Called just off the plate, down and away. So that's a ball to make it 2 balls, no strikes. One thing from this year, it's a small sample, but he's starting to build up a little bit of a sample. Batters have swung a lot less at Varland's pitches in or out of the zone. They're just swinging less. 2-0, swing and a miss. Had a feeling that would come right on cue. For the most part, they're not swinging at his stuff out of the zone as much as they were last year. Batters seem to be challenging Varland to get in the zone first. Now he's fighting back in this count. The 2-1 pitch. Called strike. 2-2.
I think that'll all change when he can show that he can consistently throw that knuckle curve for strikes. If you can land that thing in the strike zone, then hitters essentially have to respect it and start swinging at that pitch a little bit more.
2-2. Bounce to the plate, backhanded dig by Heineman, who's been busy all inning. And again, he keeps a couple of runners from advancing, keeping Freeman on second and Muncy on first. 1 out, full count, 2-1 Dodgers, top of the 6th. The set from Louis Varland in the 3-2. Called strike 3. 98-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball freezes Pages. Andy Pages is now 0 for 3 Ks, and there are 2 down in the inning.
Just a really well-located fastball on the outer third. Tyler Heineman pointing out at Louis Varland, a huge out in this inning. If you can limit this to 1 run, you've done your job.
Varland entered, bases loaded, nobody out. Now 2 outs, first and second, and only one of those runners has come in to score. The pitch to Alex Freeland, called a strike 0-1 as he whizzes a curveball over the plate. Freeland today 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. Varland kicks in the pitch. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. See where the Blue Jays are thinking about going next, because Mason Fluharty is up in the pen now for Toronto. Lefty heavy, top of the order coming up soon for LA. 1-1. Hit back foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
If you bury this knuckle curve here, I bet he swings over the top of it. He's already shown in this at-bat that he can throw the knuckle curve for strikes. Freeland has to respect that, and now you can bury one.
Freeland only in his second big league season, 24-year-old. Probably has not seen a lot of curveballs thrown as hard that break as violently as Louis Varland's. Varland comes set. And the 1-2. Foul back. Went to the fastball at 99 miles an hour, elevated. Freeland threw his hands out there to tip it away into the netting.
That's also not a bad pitch either. The only thing that I'm thinking in this situation, what pitch is going to make Freeland swing and miss? You don't want him to put the ball in play, potentially break a bat, and dump one in front of those outfielders.
1-2 again. Hit on the ground to the shortstop Jimenez. He backs up, gloves it, slings to first, and ends the inning. Louis Varland does a pretty fine job. Comes in bases loaded, nobody out. Only surrenders 1 of those runs and keeps it a tight ball game. Sac fly by Teoscar Hernandez gives the Dodgers a 2-1 lead, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event. In this corner, the reigning champ of driving through the rain, the undisputed king of all-wheel driving in the mud, the titan of traction so you can enjoy the outdoors in any weather, Subaru! And the opponent with absolutely no chance, spring weather. This no contest is brought to you by your local Subaru dealer. It's the all-weather drive event with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive traction control and class-leading safety, uncommon comes standard.
Ontario Corps is calling you. Join a group of volunteers committed to protecting your community. Proud to step up and stand together in times of crisis, facing down severe storms, floods, and doing what's right to keep your neighbors safe. When the next emergency comes, are you ready to make a difference for Ontario? Answer the call. Volunteer with Ontario Corps. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Active Green and Ross.
Celebrate spring with great savings on Michelin tires at Active Green and Ross. Get a $100 rebate when you purchase a set of 4 Michelin tires before May 29. See store for details. There's no better place to buy your Michelin tires and service your vehicle than the service and tire experts at
Active Green and Ross.
A proud Canadian company.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. 3rd home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Dodgers 2, Blue Jays 1. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting against Shohei Ohtani to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. The wind and the pitch home. Called strike with a fastball at 95, 0-1. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left is Chris LaRue. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Or today, rather. Finale of this series before day off. 0-1 to Guerrero. Swing and a last liner down in left center field, a base hit, rolling all the way to the warning track. Vlad around first into second base. He's got a leadoff double, his first double of the season.
he ripped that baseball 109 miles per hour on the line. And it gets all the way to the wall. I thought he had a chance at 3. He stops at second base. It looked like the Dodgers outfielders were taking their time out there. That's got to feel good for him standing out there at second base.
It seemed like Pages and Hernandez did not take great routes to that baseball. Probably should have been cut off before the warning track. Guerrero on second. Jesus Sanchez up. Ohtani with a long stare back. And now the pitch. Swing and a liner down the right field line. It's going to hook foul. Sanchez got jammed, but thought he might have muscled that one over the head of Freeman. Instead, it's 0-1.
It's a tough pitch. It's about 2 balls off the plate inside.
Not sure it's the pitch they want him to be going after at 97 miles an hour, too. Ohtani's 0-1. Grounder foul 0-2.
At worst for Jesus Sanchez, you're moving that runner over to third base. Can't strike out here.
Get something on the ground to the right side or lift something fairly deep to right field. Give Vlad the time to tag in advance. 0-2. In the dirt near the back foot of Sanchez, who awkwardly stepped out of the way as Will Smith came diving in near his feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lino there seems to be having some trouble getting his sliding glove on. We're 3 pitches into him being on second base. He's still fitting it on. He's got it on now. The sliding mitten that protects the fingers. 1-2 pitch. Hit sharply on the ground left side. Sliding stop Rojas. Vlad takes off for third, and Rojas throws to get him out. Guerrero hesitated and then still took off for third base. And so he was way hung out to dry. And that's going to be a fielder's choice for Jesus Sanchez. Runner on first, 1 out.
That's a tough one because Miguel Rojas, the shortstop, was shaded up the middle. And off the bat, I thought that was through. And I'm sure Vlad thought it was through off the bat as well. Generally speaking, if you're standing at second base and that ball's to your right, you're not going. You're going back to second base. But if that ball's to your left, you're going to third base. And he was kind of caught in between. Not a great base running decision, but a tough base running decision there.
Sanchez on first, 1 out, pitch to Kazuma Okamoto. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
And he's really frustrated in that dugout. We just saw him on the television screen screaming.
I just think if you don't go right away, you can't go.
Yeah,
at that point,
he was just caught in between. Not a great decision from him.
It was a tough ball to judge. I think you just got to lock it down at that point, but a lot easier from up here than down there. 0-1. Okamoto takes down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Blue Jays still have a base runner now. There is always the possibility of Jesus Sanchez taking off for second base. He's swiped over 10 bags each of the last 2 years. 1-1 to Okamoto. Down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. You do also have a tiring Shohei Ohtani out there that's probably close to the end of his day pitching. Just threw his 91st pitch. And Jack Dreyer, the lefty, is loosening up in right. 2-1. Hopped up. Third base side foul. Max Muncy on the side warning track. Angles back to the third base coach's box and makes the catch. 2 down. Let's take a look at the standings watch presented by Bet365, home of the 5-run early payout. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Yankees 8-2, Orioles 5-6, Rays 5-6, Blue Jays 4-7, Red Sox 4-8. Ernie Clement hitting, 2 outs, runner on first, and the pitch is flipped back foul, 0-1. Clement 0 for 2 on the day. Kick in the pitch. Fouled in and out of the glove of Will Smith, 0-2.
94 pitches for Shohei Ohtani, and he's still throwing 97 miles an hour.
In the nicest way possible. He's a freak. 0-2. Check swing, pitch down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's already hit 3 times in this game. He's going to bat probably about 2 more times. There is definitely only one Shohei Ohtani on planet Earth right now. 1-2 pitch to Clement, and he pokes it softly on the ground in deep short. Rojas up with it, throws on to second, and it beats Jesus Sanchez to the bag to end the inning. Blue Jays get a leadoff double and then cannot convert from there. Guerrero thrown out on the base paths, and after that a pop-up and a ground out. No runs, a hit, 1 left. 2-1 Dodgers as we roll on to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The road to October is underway, and you can celebrate strikeouts, wins, or walk-offs, and everything in between this season with a Miller Lite. When the moment calls for it, why not gather around your home base with a great-tasting Pilsner? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 ml can serving. Miller Lite, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball in Canada. It's Miller time. Must be legal drinking age. Celebrate responsibly.
Some moments are made to last, like George Springer's historic Game 7 ALCS stinger. Swinging a fly ball to left field. She's gone. They deserve to be sculpted, framed, immortalized as a bobblehead. What do you think, George?
That's a work of art.
Where were you when George made history? On Friday, April 10th, get your Jumpin' George Springer bobblehead giveaway. Where will you be?
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses, with customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Marshall smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
7th inning is brought to you by Capital One. Capital One giving Canadians credit for 30 years. Pitching change for the Blue Jays. Lefty Mason Fluharty in, and his first pitch of the inning goes to Miguel Rojas and misses outside, ball 1. This pitching change is brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Rojas now asks for time and steps back out. He's 0 for 2 today. Fluharty, the third Blue Jay pitcher into this game after Cease started, and then Varland last inning. 1-0. Hit high in the air, pop-up foul right side. Laddie chasing it onto the side warning track, but it goes into the seats. And it's 1-1.
Tyler Rogers is warming down there in that bullpen, and if you look ahead, it's Ohtani, Tucker, Smith, Freeman, Muncy, and that's 4 lefties out of 5.
Well, Fluharty will get the lefties 3 bat minimum at least.
But that's what I mean. So Tyler Rogers, is he coming in for Will Smith?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe for Freeman too. Pitch upstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, that is pretty early. Also, he might just be tossing. They have not used a lot of their leverage because they've lost 6 in a row. 2-1. Called strike 2-2. He has not pitched since Friday, and he threw 12 pitches on Friday. It's Wednesday right now. Well, this is fair by you. I'm not sure exactly what the pocket is for Rogers. 2-2. Inside, ball 3. Maybe it's just if multiple runners get on and they're looking for a ground ball, they'll go to him. And
they're just in case he gets into trouble. That's an
Fluharty? I think maybe, honestly. Payoff pitch. Hit foul to the right. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. A leadoff walk to Rojas. Not the way you want to start the inning if you're Fluharty with Shohei Ohtani coming up.
Yeah, Fluharty is really frustrated out on that mound, stomping around the mound. He stabbed at that ball from Tyler Heineman, and he's got some work to do with Shohei Ohtani. Hopefully you can get him to ground out, potentially hit into a double play here.
Ohtani 0 for 1, a walk, a strikeout, and a hit by pitch. The pitch. Hit on the ground, up the middle. Shortstop Jimenez has to field it across the back, so he'll throw to first for the out. Because of where they were set up defensively, plus where the ball was hit, there wasn't really a play to be made at second base. So Rojas advances to second, and there's one down.
I'm not sure they get Shohei Ohtani at first base anyways, even if there was somebody at second base, just because of the way he runs. And
right, probably no double play, but you would rather get the lead.
Oh, no, definitely. You get the guy at second base, for sure, if somebody's standing at second.
It doesn't happen that often, but I would be interested. The shift puts the middle infield in some compromising positions.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're talking about plays at second or making double play turns. When they were in Chicago, there was kind of an awkward flip that they had to do third baseman to shortstop, Okamoto to Jimenez, which you never would have done 15 years ago. But now with the shift, sometimes the second baseman's too far away from second. I mean, clearly they've run all their simulations on their algorithms, figured out that they like the defensive positioning that way, but this cost you some opportunities to get some lead runners. Now Kyle Tucker hits with a runner in scoring position, 1 out and the pitch. High ball 1.
I always find it funny when you see an older guy out on the mound and then the shift is on, or the shortstop shaded up the middle, and you see a ball go through the left side, and he looks into the dugout and he's upset.
1-0 pitch. Called strike. Those guys are going to be gone pretty soon.
I know.
Not to be morbid, but
I know.
Not gone, just gone from baseball. I'm tired. But most of the pitchers, even the vets now in baseball, have grown up in the shift era. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Verlander, Scherzer. Who else have not?
Verlander, Scherzer. Who are the other oldest?
Charlie Morton is
gone. Maybe
retired.
Sonny Gray would count, but he's kind of on the edge of that. The 2-1. Outside, ball 3. I mean, if you want to count your Kenley Jansen's of the world, you could go for some relievers, Aroldis Chapman,
Blake Trinan.
But even for a lot of those guys, probably only the first 3-4 years of their career, it wouldn't have been the norm for everyone to shift a lot of the time. Fluharty's 3-1 to Kyle Tucker, and it's called a strike. Tucker looked to drop the bat and take a walk, but he'll have to stay in there, 3-2. Blue Jays do shift to Tucker. The shortstop Jimenez playing up the middle. Second baseman Clement has been pulled closer to the first base bag, and he and Guerrero both play deep on the edge of the outfield turf. 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Tucker gets his walk, gets first and second with 1 out.
As much as you don't want to walk Tucker there, I think I'm okay with that, just because the base is open at first base. And here comes John Schneider to face Will Smith right on cue. But I think I'm okay with that, just because Kyle Tucker seems to be swinging the bat a little bit better.
Fluharty, the tough one, the walk to Rojas to start the inning, then gets a ground out of Ohtani and walks Tucker. So, with the Blue Jays in need of a ground ball because of a little bit of trouble, they will make a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Coming onto the hill for the Blue Jays, submariner Tyler Rogers as he warms up to cage the elephant in the background. We send it back to today's host. Your show, Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Again, scores from around Major League Baseball. It is officially a final for the Rangers, a 3-0 win over the Mariners. Rangers 7-5 on the year. Mariners falling to 4-9. I do not believe they won at all in that road trip in Texas. Bottom of the 9th, it's now 5-3 for the Orioles over the White Sox. White Sox down to their final out. They do have a runner on first, so the tying run at the plate. Top of the 6th inning, zeros between the Phillies and Giants. The Rockies still leading the Astros 7-1. And in the top of the fourth inning, the Braves currently leading the Angels 5-2. If you missed this from yesterday, some bad blood in that Braves-Angels games. Jorge Soler homering off of Reynaldo Lopez in his first AB was hit by a pitch the second time up. Lopez then threw up into the backstop the next time they faced off. Soler charged the mound. Punches were thrown. The benches were cleared, and they were both tossed in the end. The results of the brawl came down today, a 7-game suspension and fines for both Soler and Lopez, though, of course, as you might imagine, both players are appealing. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action at the Rogers Center with the call. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. This game here in Toronto in the top of the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays trailing the Dodgers 2-1. Tyler Rogers, the longtime San Francisco Giant, will face the Dodgers here and mostly face Will Smith right on right. Trying to get a ground ball double play to get out of this inning. 2 walks for the Dodgers as Rojas on second, Tucker on first. There's 1 out. Submariner offers home in the first pitch. Flip foul to the right, 0-1.
Well, Ben, you did say if a couple of guys get on, maybe that's why Tyler Rogers is warming up down in that bullpen, and here he is.
I'm unqualified, but if you want to pay me to manage a baseball team, I will take the money. 0-1 pitch. Misses outside with a breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, these Dodgers do know Tyler Rogers pretty well. He's made 41 career appearances against the LA Dodgers specifically. 1-1. Line foul to the right, 1-2. And for a guy like Will Smith, in the regular season, he's got 16 career plate appearances against Rogers. He's 5 for 15 in terms of at-bats with a home run and 1 walk. Tyler Rogers ahead of him, though.
I was going to say, those are actually pretty good numbers.
1-2 pitch. Lined up the middle, down in center field, a base hit. Varsho charges, wave being given to Rojas. The throw from Varsho skips in just late. A safe signal at home plate as Rojas dives in head first. And it's 3-1 for the Dodgers over the Blue Jays, although Rojas appears to be hurt now. He has rolled over and is holding his left hand where he has the sliding protection and now up onto a knee. Smith got into second and Tucker around to third on that throw, and Rojas, who scored anyway, will walk off the field. Applause from the fans here in Toronto as Rojas looks to be okay. Taking another look. He dove in head first, and his hand kind of went right into the foot of Tyler Heineman. I think that might have hurt him in a way. Blue Jays bring the infield in now with a run already in this inning. It's 3-1 Dodgers. And the pitch to Freddie Freeman. He went around on a pitch low, 0-1.
That was a really good send, by the way, by the third base coach, Dino Ebel. And it's the job of the third base coach to know the arm strength of the outfielders, and it was a questionable send.
0-1 pitch, broken bat bouncer to first. Vladdy on it. Gloves goes to the first base bag and keeps Kyle Tucker at third. 2 down.
Questionable send with an outfielder with an average arm and an average to above average arm. But with Dalton Varsho out there, and we talked about this a lot, it's diminished arm strength because of the shoulder injury. And Dino Ebel knew it, and he sent Miguel Rojas, and it's a big run in this ballgame.
Max Muncy will now be intentionally walked. The bases are loaded now. Tucker was at third and Smith at second already, so you avoid a left-handed hitter in Muncy and give Tyler Rogers a right-on-right matchup here with Teoscar Hernandez. Dodgers 3, Blue Jays 1. With their run this inning, the Dodgers have now scored in 3 of the last 4 frames. Blue Jays infield backs up. 2 outs, bases loaded. 3-1 Dodgers, top of the 7th. And from underneath, Rogers delivers home, and the pitch is low ball 1.
So Will Smith is now 6 for 16 off of Tyler Rogers.
Yeah.
Really good numbers.
Not to mention, about 5 months removed from hitting a World Series winning home run, which does not get talked about very often. Teoscar Hernandez lifts one out to right field, and Nathan Lucas will make the grab. That's going to end the inning. But off the back of a couple of walks and a hit, the Dodgers add another to their total. They now lead it 3-1 in the 7th inning stretch in Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hammering out the details on your next build? At Home Hardware, we've got Milwaukee's entire M12 and M18 lineup. With all the drills, packouts to stay organized, and everything you need to work on your dream project. But the time off work. Find everything you need for your next project and earn and redeem Scene Plus points at over 1,000 Home Hardware and Building Center locations. All locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Coming this spring, the all-weather drive main event presented by Subaru. Don't miss all the action as Subaru continues to be the undisputed champ of getting out there and doing all the things. Watch as it takes on spring weather like it's a no contest. From camping to hiking, nothing will get in its way. It's the event of the season, the all-weather drive event, with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive, traction control, and class-leading safety, uncommon comes standard.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Middle lane fastball, but he puts it by Cruz. 2 down.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. When it's time to build, renovate, or upgrade, your local Timber Mart has the materials, the know-how, and the team to help you win every time. From the first swing to the final finish, build with confidence at Timber Mart, Canada's building center. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue. 3-1 for the Dodgers, bottom of the 7th, and Jack Dreyer just enters and throws a first pitch up and in at the chin of David Schneider, who just entered as well. Ball 1. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. So a lefty pitcher brought in, and then the Blue Jays counter with a righty hitter. David Schneider given an extra second after Dreyer zipped one by his ear. 1-0. Lifted high in the air, back behind the plate, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack Dreyer, 27 years old, from Salt Lake City, Utah, second season. Is 1-1. Called a strike, and Schneider taps his helmet. He wants to challenge. It'll be the Blue Jays' first ABS review of the game.
I think that's a strike.
Well, I've already seen the results, so I think I know you're wrong. Pitch was high, and they'll overturn that. It's 2-1.
Who knew we'd have so much fun with this ABS system?
Blue Jays are now 1 for 1 on challenges. They retain their 2. David Schneider flips the count from 1-2 to 2-1, and now he swings and vaults the ball high in the air, down the left field line. Into the corner goes Teoscar Hernandez, but that'll go foul. 2-2. I saw MLB Network early in the year was doing a comparison on challenges on 1-1 and how big of a difference it is to go from 2-1 to 1-2. The average hitter at 2-1 is about as good as Hall of Famer Dave Parker. And at 1-2, the average hitter is about as good as pitcher Adam Wainwright when he hit in his career. It's one of the most, if not the most influential count change in baseball. 2-2, high, 3-2. It's either your 1-1 pitch or your 0-0 pitch that tends to be the biggest influencer of that. Full count against Davis Schneider. Jack Dreyer's pitch. Inside, ball 4, and Davis will take a walk.
That's a big base runner for the Toronto Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now you get Andres Jimenez coming to the plate with nobody out. He represents the tying run here.
Blue Jays have not homered in this series. They could use one right now. Left on left, the pitch to Jimenez. He squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes up an in ball one. It is the bottom third of their order, so perhaps they're thinking about giving their guys a better chance to knock in one and seeing if they can shave away another run later against the bullpen.
Yeah, just trying to chip away here. I don't mind this at all.
1-0. Jimenez swinging away, hits it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Often with bunts, Jimenez is in control of his destiny. He'll make the decision sometimes to try and bunt or try not to. Schneider on first, no outs. And the 1-1 pitch from Dreyer. High and inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Dreyer actually had a pretty good year last year. 67 ball games, started 5 with an ERA just under 3, 3-2 in 76 in the third innings. It's pretty impressive stuff.
He rocks and offers, and the 2-1 is lifted high in the air, left center field. Pages on the run, back toward the track, meets Hernandez, and Teoscar Hernandez makes the catch in deep left center. Returning to first base is Davis Schneider. It's a mistake pitch over the middle, and Andres Gimenez got a good piece of it, but he's retired, 1 out.
Yeah, he just got underneath it. Teoscar Hernandez catching that ball right in front of the warning track. Davis Schneider scooting back to first base.
So Tyler Heineman will hit now with 1 out and Davis Schneider on first. Heineman, a switch hitter, turns around to hit right against the southpaw Dreyer. The pitch, high ball 1. Did some of this yesterday, but obviously the Dodgers in part dominant because of the money they spend, but not the only reason. Dreyer, an undrafted free agent who's pitching out of their pen for a second year in a row. 1-0. High 2-0, and an undrafted free agent. There are 20 rounds to be selected. So they really found this guy out of Iowa who spent a lot of his college career hurt. But now pitching in the big leagues. His 2-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 3. I have to imagine Heineman takes all the way here.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the ballgame with Jesus Sanchez. He swung 3-0, but I'm almost 100% sure that Tyler Heineman's taking all the way here.
Runner on first, 1 out, 3-1 Dodgers, the 3-0. Called strike. Dreyer, who sits around 94, 95, tossed in that fastball at 92 just to get it over. Action in the Dodger pen, by the way. Blake Trinan is up. 3-1. Hit on the ground and through into right center field, a base hit. Davis Schneider stops at second. That ball just got past the dive of Alex Freeland. Tyler Heineman with a base hit. And the Blue Jays have the tying run on base here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Davis Schneider thought about going to third base, but Andy Pages has a pretty good arm. Got to that baseball really, really quickly. And you can see Carlos Fablis, the third base coach, with both arms up in the air, telling him to stay there. We're already in scoring position. There's 1 out. There's really no benefit to take a chance there.
And you got Kyle Tucker out there in right field, who is a good defensive corner outfielder. So you don't want to end up giving away an out on the base paths. Blue Jays, with this big opportunity, will make a bit of a substitution. Mark Pryor went out to the hill to talk to the lefty reliever Jack Dreyer, and Miles Straw has jogged out to take over for Tyler Heineman at first base, representing the tying run. Straw will be at first now. Schneider, the lead runner, at second base. And up to the plate is George Springer. He represents the go-ahead run. Springer 1 for 3 today. Dreyer set. And the first pitch to George Springer. Hit well, right field and deep. Tucker going back, turns at the fence. It's off the top of the wall. Schneider gets the wave around third. Into third goes Straw. Springer with a head-first dive to secure an RBI double and make it a 1-run game. Dodgers 3, Blue Jays 2, bottom of the 7th. came about 3 feet from giving the Blue Jays the lead as well. That home run went over the Sobeys ad in right field and into that kind of chain link fence area that allows you to see through into the bullpen. A great swing from Springer.
Yeah, it was a really, really good piece of hitting. He's screaming at second base. It was a spinning slider on the outside part of the plate. He just drilled that thing the other way.
Tying run on third, go-ahead run on second. The first pitch to Dalton Varsho is called a strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. Jack Dreyer's still in there for this left-on-left matchup. Middle infield playing back. A ground ball up the middle would tie the game. So would a fly ball. Base hit likely gives the Blue Jays the lead. And the 0-1 is way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's Straw on third. Springer covered in dirt leading off second base. 1-1. Swinging a liner down in center, a base hit. Straw scores. Stop sign put there for Springer. Dalton Varsho ties the game with an RBI single. Three straight hits for the Blue Jays, and they still have a threat here as they've come back on the Dodgers to make it 3-3. Runners on the corners, 1 out, bottom 7.
The at-bats were a little bit better in yesterday's ball game, and they are a little bit better than yesterday's ball game today. Things are starting to trend in the right directions for this Blue Jays offense that's been struggling for the majority of this young season. But how about Dalton Varsho finally breaking through? That has to feel good for him standing over there at first base.
That will also end the outing of Jack Dreyer, who gets 1 out facing 5 batters and throwing 19 pitches. With Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up, Dave Roberts makes a pitching change. Brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Blake Trinan about to come in. 3-3 game, first and third, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Before Trinan pitches, we go back to baseball control with Show Ali.
Thanks, Ben. Let's continue checking on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Indeed, a final score for the Orioles, a 5-3 win over the White Sox. So the Orioles now 6-6. White Sox now 4-8 on the season after that game. Still zeros between the Phillies and Giants, though. Bottom 6, 1 out, and the bases loaded for the Giants. So we'll check in on that one later on. Bases loaded as well. Bottom of the 6 for the Rockies, who are now leading the Astros 8-1. Was 7-1 last time we checked. And other scores as well. The Cards up 3-1 on the Nats, and the Diamondbacks currently enjoying a 5-0 lead over the Mets in Queens. Over in the NBA, Raptors off tonight after a 121-95 win over the Heat last night. Actually, the first of 2 straight against Miami, both of those games here in Toronto. The next one will go tomorrow, which will be the 3rd last game of the season. So with 3 to go, Raptors are the 6th seed in the East. Games against the Heat, Knicks, and Nets to go before the regular season wraps up. We'll have Thursday's game right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Eric Smith and Paul Jones with the call. Post-game coverage will follow as well right here on the radio and on the Raptors Show podcast feed. Blue Jays baseball, as always, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Back to the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. If you're just joining us, the Blue Jays have scored a pair in the bottom of the 7th and tied this game 3-3 against the LA Dodgers. Blue Jays trying to snap a 6-game losing skid, and this is their best opportunity to do it in a couple of days at least. They got first and third now with only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Tie score, and Blake Trinan comes in to face Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vlad 2 for 3 in this game, including a double his last time up. Infield is back. They're looking to double up Guerrero. Go-ahead run on third base with only 1 out. Trinan offers home. No, it's a step-off throw to first, pardon me, and a dive back in by Varsho. Springer can get a healthy lead off third into foul territory. Muncy playing deep and off the line. Varsho held on by Freeman at first. The pitch. Down and away, ball 1. A lunge by the runner on first, Varsho. Clearly got the attention of Will Smith, but Varsho didn't go.
It's really tough to lift the baseball against Blake Trinan. Has a very, very good sinking fastball at about 96, 97 miles an hour.
1-0. Down and away, 2-0. Just through the sweeper. If you're going to get under something, that's probably the pitch.
Yeah, you're looking for something hanging over the heart of the plate. Now that you're ahead in the count 2-0, you have to zero in on your pitch, your location.
If you're trying, and you could walk flat. Second base is open. It's first and third, one out. 2-0 pitch. Varsho takes off from first, and Smith will let him as the pitch misses down and away. Varsho steals second. So it's a 3-0 count, and now parts of the Dodger infield are creeping in here. No more double play to be had. And you wonder if you even throw a 3-0 pitch to Guerrero. They will. 3-0 count, second and third, one out. Treinen sets. And the pitch. Low ball 4. Vladdy takes a 4-pitch walk. Little fist bump from Guerrero. The Blue Jays have loaded the bases.
Yeah, I don't think that 3-0 pitch was a challenge pitch. That's just maybe pitching around him, trying to get him to lunge at something, induce weak contact. But Vlad, it looked like he was taken all the way there.
Jesus Sanchez now the hitter. Vlad on first, Varsho on second, Springer on third. The pitch. Rounder foul, 0-1 in the backswing. Caught the mask of Will Smith, who stood up as Sanchez finished his half. Sanchez is 1 for 3 today with an RBI double. Again, they're going to try and double up Jesus Sanchez. The only guy playing in at all is the third baseman Muncy, who's still probably a step behind the base path.
That's 5 sweepers in a row from Treinen. This is a guy that throws 97 miles an hour with good sink.
37-year-old pitching for his second straight day. Came in and threw a scoreless 8th yesterday. Is 0-1 to Sanchez. Swing and a miss. Foul tip the sinker, and it's 0-2. Blue Jays as a team are 1 for 17 with the bases loaded this year. An opportunity to correct that right now. 0-2 count, bases loaded, and the pitch from Treinen. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sets down Sanchez with a back foot sweeper. He got him on 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, you locate that good hard sinker inside, and then you can really throw any pitch you want. As soon as you establish the inside part of the plate, you show that you can locate the sinker, and then you come back to the sweeper, and you just buried it back foot for a big strikeout.
2 outs in the inning, 2 runs in the inning for the Blue Jays to make it 3-3. And with the bases loaded, the pitch to Cosmo Okamoto. Down and away, ball 1. Okamoto 0 for 3. Strikeout, pop-up. 1-0. Broken bat bouncer toward third. Muncy fields. He'll go to the third base bag and end the inning. The Blue Jays get a pair to tie the game, but after getting bases loaded, 1 out, do not score any further. So we go into the 8th with a 3-3 tie. 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 left for the Blue Jays. Again, 3-3. 8th inning coming up. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Full count. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Concerned about your gambling? Visit connectsontario.ca.
A great meal starts with a great egg. Whether it's breakfast with the family, lunch with friends, or a late night bite, make it better with Conestoga Farms eggs. Proudly produced by local Ontario farmers, Conestoga Farms eggs are known for their award-winning naturally golden yolks. Conestoga Farms eggs brings quality and sophistication to every dish. Perfect for plating, posting, sharing, and impressing. Follow them on Instagram at Conestoga_eggs. Conestoga Farms, because local matters.
As Canada stares down economic uncertainty, we're ready with a plan to protect Ontario. We're fighting to defend every job, building new nuclear facilities, speeding up approvals, diversifying our trade, bringing opportunity and good jobs home. Because this province doesn't just sit back, we build. That's how we protect Ontario. Learn more at ontario.ca/protectontario. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Now batting Pizzaville with 8 chicken wings or boneless chicken poppers for only $6. And on deck, 12 wings or poppers for $10. Limited time only. Conditions apply. Fans, step up to pizzaville.ca or from your cell at pound 3636.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Foul tip, strike 3. Jeff Hoffman punches out a trio and a big flex from the righty.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
3-3, Blue Jays and Dodgers, top of the 8th inning. Tyler Rogers offers to Andy Pages, and the first pitch pounded foul to the right, 0-1. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. This 8th inning is brought to you by Capital One. Capital One giving Canadians credit for 30 years. Bottom third of the Dodger order due up this inning, Pages, Freeland, Rojas. 0-1 Andy Pages. Inside, backs the right-handed hitter off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Swing and a miss. Laid a slider over at 74 and got a whiff out in front of it by Pages. 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. The Submariner offers, and the pitch is bounced toward third base and foul. Still 1-2. Rogers still adjusting to the turf bounces here in Toronto. He gets a lot of contact hit right into the ground. A lot of stuff in and around the mound. His first time playing full-time on turf. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Golden sombrero for Pages. 4 strikeouts, and there's 1 down.
Yeah, Tyler Rogers is pretty incredible. Every time I watch him pitch, I wonder how he's getting guys out. Keep in mind, this is a guy with a career 2.72 ERA. He throws about 82 to 83 miles an hour. It works.
He's been doing it for years.
He throws strikes, and it works.
With 1 out, he deals to Alex Freeland, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. You can't say, oh, it's trickster stuff and it will only last so long. It's lasted about 7 seasons. 1-0 pitch. Hit sharply but foul on the ground. Third base side, 1-1.
He's thrown 430 career big league innings with an ERA of 2.72. That's all-star stuff. And he throws 82 miles an hour.
Righties 1-1. Called strike, backdoor sinker. Just grabbed the plate. And it's 1-2. One-two pitch. Outside. Couldn't grab the outside corner with this sinker that ran away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Heineman popped up to throw it around the horn, or rather Valenzuela did, who subbed in for him, but the pitch was deemed outside, a full count. Valenzuela's in behind home plate now because Heineman was lifted for pinch runner and Miles Straw last inning. Get to all the switches in a second. 3-2. Called strike 3. Freeland started to walk to first. He's got a word for the home plate up, Tampolino. If he thinks it's so bad he can tap the top of his helmet, he's decided not to. There are 2 down.
Yeah, he was shaking his head walking back to that dugout. I thought that clipped the edge, and I think it might be one of those pitches where it's just too close to take. He might think it's a ball, but he doesn't want to potentially lose a challenge here in a tie ball game.
2 outs, Miguel Rojas to hit, and the pitch. Bounce towards second base, backhanded by Clement. Throw over to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. Work by Tyler Rogers, a pair of strikeouts, and he sends the Blue Jays back to the bats in a tie game. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. 3-3 score. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Barger needed a place to stay right before Game 1 of the World Series, and so I offered him my pull-out couch, and yeah.
The first ever
pinch hit grand slam in World Series history.
Be at the ballpark on Saturday, April 11th to get your very own Addison Barger Couch t-shirt free for the first 15,000 fans. Thoughts, Addison?
This is grand slam worthy.
For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Where will you be for this giveaway?
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Protect your waste and recycling equipment from costly repairs. With a custom maintenance plan, optimize your waste system performance and longevity with Metro Compactor Service. They've got you covered coast to coast with the largest service fleet in Canada. Their innovative iSmart technology can remotely diagnose, troubleshoot, and monitor equipment health in real time. For on-demand or proactive service, sales, rentals, and extended warranties for all your waste equipment, visit metrocompactor.com. metrocompactor.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Clement vacuums it up, throws to second one. Jimenez to first, double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. When it's time to build, renovate, or upgrade, your local Timbermart has the materials, the know-how, and the team to help you win every time. From the first swing to the final finish, build with confidence at Timbermart, Canada's building center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Appreciate you tuning in today. 3-3 score between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. New pitcher Ben Kasparius is on for the bottom of the eighth. Righties pitch to Ernie Clement is lifted high in the air out to straightaway center field. Moving forward, Andy Pages in a jog. He'll make the catch off to his left, and there's one out. Pitching change to Kasparius, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Kasparius is a third-year, 6'2" right-hander, 27 years old, from Connecticut. And he features a pretty sharp fastball in the mid to high 90s, sweeper, curve, and cutter as well. His pitch to Davis Schneider, high and outside, ball one. Schneider with a walk in this game, 1-0. Outside 2-0. Came in to hit for Lucas last inning and started the rally that helped the Blue Jays tie the game. 2-0 pitch. Called a strike. 95-mile-an-hour fastball appeared to just grab the outside corner at the knees.
It's a good take right there, especially in a 2-0 count. You're looking for something middle end, probably thigh high.
2-1. High. 3 balls and 1 strike. Blue Jays trying to get that go-ahead runner on base. 3-1 to Schneider. High and outside, ball 4. Second walk in as many innings for Davis Schneider. And the Blue Jays do have the go-ahead run on now with 1 out.
I mean, that's just a really comfortable at-bat from Davis Schneider. There was no anxiousness in that at-bat. And again, he knows he's the go-ahead run. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. He knows he's very, very important, and he gets first base with 1 out here in this inning.
Kasparius checks on him, sets, and now the pitch to Andres Jimenez. Grounded foul off the front fence of the Dodger dugout, first base side, 0-1. Kasparius just ran a cutter way in on Jimenez, almost landed on his belt buckle as Jimenez brought his hands in to rip that one foul. Tambolino out there to hand a new baseball to the left-handed pitcher.
I think his backswing actually got Will Smith.
Yeah, it did. You're right. Not so fun if you're Dodger catcher Will Smith. Back in the crouch, Schneider on first, 1 out. 0-1. Called strike. Dropped a curveball in there to make it 0-2. But Andres Gimenez wants to challenge. I'm not overly confident that'll get overturned, and it will stay a strike. So the Blue Jays miss on that one. They have one challenge remaining.
Is that one of those instances where it's just let's use it? Because like you said, that really wasn't very close. That was very clearly in the strike zone.
Maybe. I don't know. You might want to save him for the 9th, though. 0-2. Bounced up the middle, a base hit into right center. Schneider turns around second. He's put on the Jets to get to third, and Andres Gimenez delivers with an 0-2 single to make it first and third, one out in the bottom of the 8th.
There was a big hole up the middle. Second baseman Alex Freeland was covering that hole on the right side, and that was just a slow roller up the middle, perfectly placed, and Davis Schneider ends up at third base.
That creates a huge spot for Brandon Valenzuela, the rookie. Brought him in defensively after running Miles Straw for Heineman last inning, and now Valenzuela bats with the go-ahead run on third, and Jimenez on first, one out. Right on left the pitch. High ball one. Andres Gimenez a little jumpy off of first base. The Blue Jays could try something here. Also, last time they attempted to steal last inning first and third, one out, the Dodgers just let him take second base. Jimenez takes his lead. It's Schneider on third, and Jimenez off on the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Smith will throw through, and it skips away from Rojas. Schneider charging home. He'll slide in, and the Blue Jays take the lead. The first and third steal works for the Blue Jays. A little help from the Dodgers as that throw tailed into the runner, Andres Gimenez. It popped away from Miguel Rojas, and the Blue Jays had Davis Schneider steal from third to go home, giving Toronto a 4-3 advantage. Jimenez on second, still one out, and the 1-1 to Brandon Valenzuela. Outside 2-1.
Things happen when you put pressure on the defense. If you put the runner in motion, you're not just trying to steal the base. You're trying to create havoc on the bases. You're trying to get a throw that bounces away, potentially scoring that run from third base.
2-1 pitch, fouled back off of Smith and into the netting behind home plate, 2-2.
And that's exactly what the Blue Jays did. It wasn't a great throw. It tailed into the runner, and as soon as Davis Schneider saw that ball bounce away about 3 or 4 feet from Miguel Rojas, he was on his horse and scored really easily.
They assess the error to Will Smith, scoring Davis Schneider. Jimenez on second, one out, and a pickoff play put on. Jimenez was all over it. He heard Rojas coming in behind him and dove back to the bag before the throw was delivered there. So Andres Jimenez back in safe. You'd love to add. Blue Jays up 4-3. They have Jeff Hoffman up and ready. It'll be the top of the Dodger order in the 9th. 2-2. Valenzuela bounces a ball deep to second. Fielded on the turf by Freeland. He'll throw on to first for the out. Jimenez advances to third, and there are 2 down.
Casparius has a big breaking curveball, and he's likely going to throw one here to George Springer at some point. So if you're Andres Gimenez standing at third base, you have to be aware of a ball potentially bouncing away from Will Smith here.
4-3 Blue Jays, bottom of the 8th inning, 2 outs and a runner on third. The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Max Muncy is playing back toward the outfield turf and off the line at third. That allows Andres Gimenez to take a bit of a walking lead. Casparius looking at him, 0-1. Springer lifts the ball in the air right field, playable for Kyle Tucker. Settling under it, Tucker makes a one-handed catch and sends us to the 9th. Blue Jays, though, get a run on a hit and an error and one left. And going to the 9th inning, the Blue Jays have a 4-3 lead. Jeff Hoffman on against Ohtani, Tucker, and Smith when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca in the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Get spring ready with CarQuest Auto Parts. Save on premium brand name products. Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic Oil 5-liter jugs, $29.97. Die Hard Lawn and Garden Battery Gold, $59.97. CarQuest Windshield Washer Fluid, 3.78-liter jug, $3.98. Prestone Premix Coolant, 3.78-liter jug, $14.97. Hit the road with CarQuest for your auto parts needs. Visit a CarQuest Auto Parts store or carquest.ca for full flyer details at participating locations.
Let's flip a coin. Heads, you grow your business. Tails, you earn on your cash. Most banks make you pick a side. Float says, be all in. With Float, eligible Canadian businesses get up to $3 million in flexible, interest-free credit to keep building, all while their idle cash earns up to 4% interest in Float. Spend on credit and earn on balances. Heads and tails. Being all in means giving your business both. Learn how Float is all in on Canada at floatfinancial.com.
Coming this spring, the all-weather drive main event presented by Subaru. Don't miss all the action as Subaru continues to be the undisputed champ of getting out there and doing all the things. Watch as it takes on spring weather like it's a no contest. From camping to hiking, nothing will get in its way. It's the event of the season, the all-weather drive event with lease rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. With all-wheel drive, traction control, and class-leading safety, Uncommon comes standard.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer charges the ball to left field. It's in the seats, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the ninth in Toronto, the Blue Jays leading 4-3, and Jeff Hoffman brought on for a save opportunity. Ohtani, Tucker, and Smith due up for the Dodgers in this ninth inning. We welcome you back to Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Hoffman set his first pitch of the ninth inning to Ohtani. He is cut on and missed, strike one. Pitching change to Hoffman brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Ohtani asks for time, steps out of the box, and adjusts his right pant leg, his elbow guard, and his batting glove on his right side. Four-seamers, sinkers, splitter, and slider for the righty Hoffman is 0-1. Just off the plate, down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. Swing and a miss. Dialed it up to 96 at the top of the zone. Gets whiff from Ohtani, 1-2.
Really good sequence so far. A couple of split fingers that he stayed on top of, then just blew him away with a four-seamer.
Hoffman kicks his 1-2. Called strike 3. Surprised him with 97 over the heart of the plate. Ohtani set down 1 out.
I like that they stayed hard there. That was the perfect pitch. I thought they were going to come up with something hard. Ohtani obviously looking for that split finger. I think they actually were trying to go upstairs. The target of Valenzuela was up near the top of the strike zone, but it was a perfect pitch.
1 out and Kyle Tucker to the plate. Base is empty. Top of the ninth. 4-3 Blue Jays the pitch. Fouled back 0-1. Blue Jays trying to salvage this series and most importantly snap this losing skid of 6 in a row. 0-1 pitch. High and outside. A little stumble on the delivery there by Hoffman. 1 ball and 1 strike as he misses with a fastball. The 1-1. Hoped on a line and threw into right center. A base hit for Tucker, who's on the tying run now with 1 out in the ninth inning.
Little bit of a floater there. It was a 1-1 count. He was trying to get a ground ball or a swing and miss with that split finger. Didn't quite get on top of it. Floated through the strike zone a little bit. Tucker was out in front, but he was able to keep the barrel back and hit a good line drive into center field.
So a runner on first base and Will Smith to the plate. He represents the go-ahead run. The guy who hit the 11th inning homer to win the World Series in Game 7 last year. The pitch. Smith leans back and takes a pitch high, ball 1. It's a slider from Hoffman that stayed up. Blue Jays 4, Dodgers 3. 1-0 pitch. Up and in, 2 balls, no strikes.
Can't be too quick here. You have to finish your pitches. That run on first base obviously matters, but you're really focused on that guy standing in the batter's box.
It's Kyle Tucker on first, who already has 3 stolen bases this year. 2-0. Called strike at the top of the zone, 2-1. Smith looks back, the batter looks back to the home plate umpire, Dan Bellino, to ask a question. On second look, it looks like that might have been a bit of a break to Jeff Hoffman. Not a huge break, but a bit of a break. 2-1 pitch. Called a ball. 3-1. And sinking fastball maybe just missed a hair low. Blue Jays do have a challenge left. They decided not to use it, so Valenzuela agreed. Got to be in the zone here, but nothing too fat to a tough hitter like Will Smith. 3-1 pitch. Called strike. Front door slider got Smith to stiffen up, thinking it was going to hit him, and then it dropped in. Full count. Hoffman cupping his left ear with his glove. Lead off first for Tucker, the tying run. 1 out, top of the 9th inning. Hoffman's 3-2. Off goes Tucker, and the pitch is inside, ball 4. So Tucker gets second for free. Smith aboard at first with a walk, and now the go-ahead run on base for the LA Dodgers on Hoffman's first walk of the season.
Here comes Pete Walker out of that dugout. It's a good time for a mound visit. You bring the infield in. They're going to have a chat about how they want to attack Freddie Freeman, but it all comes down to the first pitch. What do you want to throw? You have to throw a strike. You can't fall behind Freddie Freeman. He's so good when it's 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, and he finds himself in hitters' counts.
Should correct, by the way, technically the second walk of the season for Hoffman, although his first was an intentional walk yesterday, offered up to Shohei Ohtani. In terms of throwing strikes, you've been able to count on him to do that pretty regularly over his first 4 outings of the season. And we'll see if we can get back in the zone here, maybe get a ground ball to help finish off this game. Well, this is no doubt now a big threat from the Dodgers. Runners on first and second. 4-3 Blue Jay lead. 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Base hit likely ties the game, and Freeman has almost 2,500 of those in his career. Right on left matchup. Both are ready to go in the pitch. Called low, ball 1. Today, Freeman is 2 for 4 singles in the 4th and 6th innings. Line out double play in the 1st and a ground ball in the 7th. 1-0. Inside 2-0. They got to get Hoffman back in the zone here, or the Blue Jays are going to be in some big trouble.
It's a tough spot to be in. You got to be back in the zone, but you also don't want to throw Freddie Freeman a cookie.
Two-0 pitch. Freeman fouls it off the glove of Valenzuela, and Jeff Hoffman with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball gets back into the zone, right on the edge of it to be exact. It's 2-1.
Yeah, perfect.
2-1.
Perfect location for a 2-0 fastball to a guy as good as Freddie Freeman. Down and away, decent sink to it. Now you get yourself a strike.
Trying to get Freeman on the ground here. 2-1 pitch. Hit foul over the netting left side and into the seats. 2-2. Went back to the four-seam fastball at 97. Almost the exact same spot on the outside corner to make it 2-2.
Two perfectly placed fastballs. Now you can throw whatever you want, although you want to get on top of that split finger if you throw one.
First and second, 1 out. 4-3 Blue Jays, top of the 9th. Hoffman checks second in the 2-2. Foul tip, strike 3. Valenzuela with a point out to the pitcher, Jeff Hoffman. Got him on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and there are 2 down.
I love that selection right there. You stay hard. Freddie Freeman potentially thinking that you're going to come split finger, maybe even slider down and in there, and Hoffman throws a perfectly placed fastball up around the top of that strike zone.
Max Muncy, the last hope for the Dodgers. 4-3 Blue Jays. First and second, 2 down, top of the 9th inning. Hoffman's pitch. And it is high, ball 1. Still trouble. Kyle Tucker on second is the tying run on first base. Will Smith, the go-ahead run. Hoffman sets, about to deliver his 20th pitch of the inning. Here it is. And it's popped back foul, 1-1. Hoffman belts high set. Kick in the 1-1 pitch. Tap back toward the mound. Hoffman scrambles off toward third. Gloves, throws on to first, and the streak is over. The Blue Jays have won a game. They down the Los Angeles Dodgers 4-3, coming back as they did so often in 2025 to pick up what feels like a much-needed win.
Yeah, this was a really, really important win for the Blue Jays. Not on the whole, but for the confidence level of the guys in that dugout going into a series with the Twins. You have the off day tomorrow, but how about Jeff Hoffman coming through in a tough situation, first and second, 1 out in that 9th inning. He makes some really, really tough pitches to Freddie Freeman and secures this victory.
4-3 the final score in this one. We're going to take a quick break, step aside, and then get you over to Blue Jays Talk. Those guys have needed to discuss a win as well. Stay with us. 4-3 Blue Jays the final. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board.
Mm-hmm.